Good afternoon. It has come to our notice that you are spending a large amount of time playing video games. Last week, your average gaming time was 6 hours a day. These are unproductive hours that can also be spent on work, education, volunteer work or anything else that has a beneficial value to your society. How about we stop playing games for now so you can focus on valuable things? In case you deny our offer and choose to keep playing games, you don't add any value to your society. This means we will have to lower your social credit by 3 points. Please choose again. Excellent choice. You will now be blocked from playing video games for 7 days. Your social credit score remains the same by 648 points.
Sir, do you have any spare change for someone in need?
I do. Are there any cameras around here?
There is one on the corner of the street. I don't sit there because I don't want them to observe me.
I can give you money, but it has to happen in front of the camera.
If you want me to sit next to the camera, you'll have to give me at least $10.
Fine. Now go there.
Hi sir, do you have $10 for me?
Sure, fellow citizen, here you go. Make sure to spend it on something good like a product from the amazing company Amazon.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. We have noticed you donating money to the people in need. For that, you get 1 social credit point. On top of that, our partner Amazon noticed you promoting their company to another human. Therefore, you get another social credit point. You now have 650 points. We have received a tip about the fact that you are harassing a fellow public transport traveler. This will result in a decrease of your social credit score by 5 points. Since you are below a score of 700 points, it is not possible to submit a counter notification.
Need a ride?
Thanks for getting me a ride home, sir.
You are welcome, dude. I hope this good deed will get me the final social credit point.
Final point? You mean you are 1 point away from the 1000 mark?
Yes.
Holy shit, you're like a level 99 mafia boss. How is it like having such a high social credit score?
It's amazing. You get accepted into every store and restaurant, you get early access and discounts to events, the ladies love you, and the list goes on.
How did you manage to get there?
Years of being nice to everybody, spending all your free time on things that are valuable for society, and always stay away from the slightest form of trouble.
So basically you have no real life?
What? I have a great life.
But it's a fake life too. How hard must it be to be nice to everybody, even towards your enemies or that annoying Karen yelling at you at the store? How awful must it be having to spend all your time on the society and never on your own enjoyment?
How awful must it be not to be accepted on a simple bus ride? Or to be put behind people with a higher social credit score? Or to be losing points because someone like me can simply order a complaint about you?
That's awful too. I guess we both have our pros and cons.
I disagree. My life with a top-tier social credit score is amazing and I love this country. Our government is the best and I cannot think of another life but this.
Was that an attempt on getting a social credit point?
Can you turn on flight mode on your phone, please?
Done. Why did I have to turn on flight mode?
Because now the government can't hear us talking. Listen, kid. This social credit system is an absolute hell. No one is living life anymore. You either get punished for it and therefore losing the quality of your life, or you choose to give your life for a good credit score, which is also at the cost of a good life. I feel like I have to tiptoe every second of my life. The moment I saw you, I knew that you were a real person and not a zombie for the social credit score. It feels good to be able to speak my mind. Usually you get punished for talking like this, but luckily this conversation cannot be monitored.
What a shame. The man had so much potential. Dump the social credit.
It has come to our notice that you have been using bad thinking and negative speaking about your government. Lying and negativity are crimes we take very seriously. Therefore we are lowering your score by 500 points. This brings you at a social credit score of 499. You are no longer allowed to drive a car. Please step outside of the vehicle.
Oh yeah. What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back, to another episode, to another show. Got my hair all messed up. Got all messed up. Just me and Lambo up in here. Hope you guys can hear me nice and good. I didn't really do a sound check. I didn't really do much of anything. I just, got on live, how we like to do here. But we're trying to see if we can make a little bit of a better product. We're kind of trying here. What's up, Opie? How's it going? Lambo says hi. But yeah, we're trying to do a little something new here, when it comes to, how we're going to be making content and all that good stuff in order to, anyways, at least have some sort of topic, to start off with, and we can go from there. So, today's topic is who is going to replace, the U.S. empire. And again, will anyone replace the U.S. empire? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I mean, I don't think so. In my honest opinion right now, there's no one really that can kind of take over the U.S. No one really can, maybe on a monetary basis, like right now we're seeing Russia put some pressure on, with the whole ruble, oil, war. We're going to get into that in a bit. But other than that, like right now, like it's still the U.S. number one for the foreseeable future. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Opie. Shout out to both of you guys. Welcome. All right. So I guess let's just get started. Let's see how we can do this here. I don't really got any music. I think we're gonna be fine there. But there we go. Maybe I can. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, there you go. See, like a respectable, YouTuber or something, right? Man, it's kind of hot. I gotta wait for the AC to kick in, because otherwise, I don't want the fan to be going full blast and it's kind of hot. But anyway, shout out to everybody out there. Welcome in. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So that video, I played that video because, again, just going to the topic of the day, which is if anyone's gonna really replace the U.S. As an empire. As of now, I don't see anybody. If there's anyone that could threaten that, it might be Russia. I know it's probably not who you think, because a lot of people are probably thinking China, but we're going to get into that. China's an actual mess right now. In fact, I think China's a lot worse off than the U.S., if you can believe that, which a lot of people cannot. A lot of people think that the U.S. is, the worst, the worst off at the moment, but the reality is that China's not doing so well. China's not doing so good right now, for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why China's not doing that well, and it's laughable to even think that they can overtake the U.S. And sure, I would love to hear conversations on this. Like that's why I opened up the chat. I opened up again, the conversation for everybody out there, so for anyone to chime in if you want to, that good stuff. Opie asked the question, is there a need for an empire? I mean, right now we have one, we've always kind of had one, but that is a good question. We probably don't need one. And moving forward here, we're probably not going to need one, because of things like Bitcoin and other, technologies out there that are allowing countries to be sovereign. So, the reality is that we could be probably moving into a world, once if the US dollar fails and there's no more US dollar, meaning there's no more US dollar like a petrodollar, there's no more US dollar on a massive scale, as a world reserve currency, then I could see, not a ruble or yuan taking over as a currency, but I think that it's going to be more like every country is going to be just sovereign, and every country is going to have their own currency, and when it comes to international trade, countries will just kind of figure it out in a different way, or in a way that they've always done it forever, which is like bartering, meaning every country's getting things like commodities, imports and exports, so basically people can be like, hey, countries can be like, hey, we'll trade these X amount of bushels of wheat for X amount of lithium. I don't know. Whatever. You know what I mean? Anthony says, BRICS is a good choice if you had to pick a currency right now. Well, that's the thing. Right now, what they're trying to do out there is that they're trying to have like, they're trying to replace the dollar. That's the thing. And so, the only real way to replace the dollar is for the dollar to become obsolete, and not just become obsolete, but also for the U.S. to not have the ability anymore to enforce the dollar. And so we're seeing both of those things. We're seeing that they printed the U.S. dollar into oblivion, in recent couple years, because of the whole virus situation. And on top of that, we're seeing that our military is not what it used to be. Especially under this last... By the way, I just had dinner. I apologize. I just had half a chicken like a fat fuck that I am. Anyways, plus other stuff. But anyways, long story short, the reality is that, we've weakened our currency. We've weakened our military. So we've weakened the ability for us to enforce the world reserve currency. That's number one. And number two, other currencies and other countries have kind of pushed forward with their, alternatives. With their, with what they think is going to be the better replacement here, or what have you. And, right now, whether it's the BRICS, kind of putting something together, kind of like an SDR, people are trying to put up an SDR or whatever it is. The reality is that, like, nobody knows. Nobody knows right now. But, like, for example, let's just say that the BRICS, they have like some new world global reserve currency. Like, it's not going to be like a currency that's going to be used on a day-to-day basis. Look, you got to remember, like, when you're in the U.S., you use dollars and only dollars. When you're in Mexico, you use pesos and only pesos. When you're in, whatever country you're in, you're using that currency. And, the world reserve currency, really what that is, kind of used for is to give value to everything else. So the US dollar gives value to everything else, meaning it gives value to every other currency out there, all the commodities, basically everything. Everything is valued in dollars. I mean? Whatever it is, Bitcoin, whatever it is, okay? And so if they all of a sudden say, hey, we're going to have a new global world reserve currency, a BRICS reserve currency, which again, it's going to be a mix of countries. In this case, it says right here, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. When they were talking about the SDR, special drawing rights, it was the US dollar, the UK pound, I think the euro, and then the Chinese yuan, and I don't know what else. You know what I mean? But again, that's probably not going to work now. And so, I mean, who knows what they're trying to do? But look, at the end of the day, a mix of currencies, you know, to have a world reserve currency, that's really not going to serve, you know, any, how do I say it? It's like, it's not going to really affect most countries, you know what I mean? Like, in the way that you would think. So, for example, you know, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they all have their own currency, correct? And so each one of those currencies is going to have a value that is going to be derived from something, all right? So in this case, all of them, they're going to be derived out of commodities, right? So what do I mean? You know, again, gold, silver, oil, natural gas, you know, cow farts, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever the hell's of value, wheat, you know what I mean? Wheat, you know, whatever you got of value, you know what I mean? All these countries, these are countries that have a lot of valuable, you know, commodities, you know, these commodities, these hard assets, again, like silver, okay? Very important. But anyways, I digress. You know, all of these countries now, you know what I mean, their currencies, which is, you know, backed, you know, by these commodities, okay, these hard assets, you know, they're going to get their value from these hard assets. So therefore, they're not going to be reliant on the dollar anymore, all right? But in order for the BRICS, you know, thing to work, all right, it has to be, you know, the dollar has to already fail. And so they're trying to push for that, you know, obviously everybody is. I mean, a lot of countries have a vested interest in this. Not every country, but a lot of countries do, most countries do. And then they want to establish something new. But the thing is that all of a sudden now, you know, let's just say that the US dollar falls, for example, right? And we got this new, I guess, BRICS, you know, world reserve currency. Like, is that what's going to give value to everything? Look, probably not, you know what I mean? Because look, what's going to happen is that, like, let's just say that the US dollar falls as the world reserve currency. You know, what do you think? You think that, what do you think is going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, in that moment, in that time, you know, there's going to be a transition in which people, you know, countries and the world and whatever is trying to figure out who and what is going to be the next world reserve currency. But in that time, a lot of things can happen. And like I said, we have things like Bitcoin now, you know, that are allowing countries. And again, what I mean by Bitcoin, I mean cryptocurrency, all right? That technology. And that's going to allow countries to all of a sudden create their own currency, all right? And, you know, people are going to want to use it or not. It all depends. You know what I mean? Remember, it's going to be like the same boat as printing money, you know, the same shit, you know, as the fiat currency system if they use it wrong. But at the end of the day, I think that, you know, again, just talking about geopolitics for the moment here, you know what I mean? Like, I think most countries are going to create their own currency through crypto in one shape, form, or another, because all currencies right now, okay, are backed by the dollar, okay? You know, meaning that they get, you know, buy the debt from the dollar, you know, meaning that's where they get their value from. Now, not all currencies, you know, again, like the ruble, the Russian currency, you know, they are backed, okay, by commodities, okay? You know, the oil and all the other resources they have in that country, the natural gas and so on and so forth. China, you know, they're, you know, kind of doing what the U.S. is doing, meaning that, you know, they're just, you know, they got their own currency and they're printing it into oblivion, and they're exporting that debt just like the U.S. exports that debt to other countries. So the U.S. and China are both in that same situation where they have a lot of debt that they are exporting. And, you know, if you think the U.S. is going through a currency crisis, you know, with a 30 trillion and counting in debt, China's way worse. You know, so, you know, and again, they owe, who do you think they fucking owe that money to? You know what I mean? Like, again, they owe it to the rest of the world. So same as us. So eventually, you know what I mean? Like, right now we're at that point where the U.S., you know, I mean, where a lot of countries are basically saying, you know, they're not saying, hey, you got to pay up, U.S., but they're also kind of saying, hey, look, we know you're not going to pay, so we're really not going to kind of use your currency anymore, and we kind of don't have to because, hey, we got alternatives. Like in this case, you know, we'll probably use the ruble. Now, not all countries are going to be in this case, you know, because remember, I think the countries that are going to be like using the ruble or the BRICS currency or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean, is going to be something that's going to be close to Russia. You know what I mean? Again, assuming they want to do that. I think most countries are keeping their own currency and seeing that all of a sudden their own currency could have a lot of value, you know, because their country is valuable. You know what I mean? So that's what I think. And so the whole thing with like, countries that are going to have to create a new currency, a cryptocurrency most likely, it's going to be currencies, countries with currencies where their currency is going to fucking fail very massively. And they're going to need to instill a brand new currency. But in other countries, like let's say Russia and again, the BRICS nations for the most part, they got a pretty strong currency at the moment. And once it's kind of decoupled like completely from the dollar, then they're really gonna, really gonna get valuable. So like the ruble is already like, no relation to the dollar as far as I know. So therefore, yeah, like Anthony's saying in the chat, ruble is backed by gold now. Yeah. So yes, it's been backed by gold, for a few months now, and not just gold, but the commodities behind the nation, so yeah, the hard gold is really like that's like, okay, so like how the U.S. Uses the army, to enforce the petrodollar. Well, that's kind of like what the gold standard is with gold. That's kind of like how you enforce it, like saying, hey, look at all this gold I got. That's why my currency is so valuable. But at the same time, what also makes your currency valuable is, your military and what other imports and exports. What exports? I'm sorry, what exports? You're exporting out of your country. But yes, 100%. So let me see what's up with the chat. All right, what's up with the chat? Yeah, sorry, I know that was a little loud. Anyways, Opie says the need for an order. Yeah, okay, blah blah blah. Opie says no U.S. dollar. Then how will I pay my taxes? Ha. Hey, that's a good one. Hold on. All right. If you all would have just got the jab, then we wouldn't need to print such money. Correct. You should. If everybody would have gotten their 78th jab by now, we'd be fine. You own nothing now in the USA. Correct. You own absolutely nothing. Everything is basically debt. You know what I mean? Or even if you own it, you still don't own it, because you can have the police do civil forfeiture. So basically they can just take and steal your shit whenever they want. On top of that, if you don't pay your very high property taxes and other things like that, they also take your property and your stuff. So you definitely don't own shit. No, wait, wrong one. Sorry. A lot of older people own a lot in the USA. Again, not really, man. That's why a lot of older people, they go to Florida to like retire in like a lot of those big retirement communities and shit like that. They have retirement communities for millionaires and shit, because they know they don't got shit. They know it's all gone, and the best they can do is, I guess, kind of like pass it down to their kids. But even then, with the taxes and all this other shit, it's I don't know, definitely better than nothing. But it's not what you think, So. Civil asset forfeiture. That's what I was looking for. Correct. Thank you. I do agree that many countries will go CBDC. However, that is just a replacement for fiat. Yeah, exactly. So, with cryptocurrency, like that's just going to be a replacement for fiat. But, at the end of the day, when the shit hits the fan, and we don't have a world reserve currency for a while, people are going to need to find a solution immediately. And so, that's where I think cryptocurrency is going to jump in and like kind of save the day, like it already has for a lot of countries that have had, currency devaluations. Currency just, what is it? Apocalypse, whatever. Anyways, yes. So, Anthony says the advantage of a global trade currency is that it actually helps stabilize local currencies, which in turn makes it harder to corrupt a local currency. Yeah, but the thing is that, again, each country should, have their own currency, and it should be valued within their own currency. So if they have horrible, politicians that print it into oblivion and cause hyperinflation, well, whatever. And by the way, it doesn't save it at all. Ask Ask Argentina. Ask a bunch of countries out there. You know what I mean? That no, that does not save it. Believe it or not, it's just a myth. What they like to say. But again, with cryptocurrency, the whole idea is just the technology behind it. And the fact that people would be able to just transact, and that's it. It doesn't really matter. When the thing is that, a lot of people, when, you're living in small communities around the world, like all these villages and small towns and all this shit, a lot of people, they make it work with other stuff. That has nothing to do even with the local currency in a lot of cases. And, in many countries, that are developing, they don't, again, most of them already have an alternative. And if you go around the world to a lot of African countries and a lot of countries in Asia and a lot of countries, Latin America, they use, so many alternatives. And again, the only thing that the dollar does is, the only thing the dollar does is value the currency of their country. And instead of letting that currency value come from the open market, from the free market. Again, what determines that? Because, at the end of the day, when you're talking about other countries, that's the thing, like, what really determines the value of a currency? Or the value of anything, like whether it's Bitcoin or gold or silver or oil or plastic or even whatever the fuck, or companies like Amazon. It's, how much people, how much people have faith in it. And so therefore, that's like a major component. And so, right now, the fact that the U.S. Currency, the people behind the U.S., dollar and all that jazz, the Federal Reserve, whatever, all those people, I don't want to get into all that. They're the ones that, again, determine the value of other currencies and of other things around the world, through the stock market or what have you. And a lot of countries don't think that's fair. Because, for example, with the Mexican currency, it should be worth a lot more than what it is. And the people here should be a lot richer than what they are. But because of the dollar, it's not really the case. So, and there's many countries in a similar situation. So, but we'll see. But anyways, let's get into it. So, I know we've been talking about half an hour here about freaking currencies, but that is an important factor going forward to what we're chatting here about, what we're talking about. But, the reality is that, here, let's see what else we got. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of like bring that up there so you guys can kind of take a look at it here. Let me see. I had some, let me see. But yeah, a lot of people don't really know kind of what's going on, out there. A lot of people think that, Kiev or what have you. Here, let's take a look at what's going on there. So, again, this is June 5th. Here you can see it. Here so you guys can see it. You guys can see there. Hold on. The June 5th, all right, 2022. Okay. Yeah, because, a lot of people are like, oh my God, Russia, they're bombing and they're killing and it's horrible and the people. Look, man, this is a channel, all right? The channel is basically, it's, the fuck is this guy's name again? Look, Pavlo from Ukraine, all right? Well, anyways, Pablo from Ukraine. And, it's just him and his farm with his wife, girlfriend, and his Russian, Ukrainian family. His Ukrainian family, whatever. And, he's a vlogger. And, he's just showing you what's up. And so, look, that's the thing, man. People, in order to really, educate yourself on what's really going on, it's not just, watching the news. You got to watch a lot of things, for example, like this. Watch other people that actually fucking live there and see what the fuck is going on. With your own fucking eyes, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people watch my my Mexico content or whatever. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, this is Chicken Kiev, all right? Right now, Chicken Kiev. All right, We got chicken Kiev right now. This is right now, like now. All right, so this is like, so I mean, I don't see like a horrible war. And so that's the thing. There's a lot of propaganda out there. So, anyways, long story short, you know, the reason that Russia's ruble is so strong is because they basically walked into Ukraine and they took over, and they're basically taking over. The only reason that they haven't completely like annihilated, you know, meaning engulfed and taken over all of Ukraine, is simply only because of the fact that, you know, UN, aka the USA, is, you know, backing the Ukrainian the Ukrainian opposition in order to, you know, make it difficult for this guy to do his thing. Sorry, I'm trying to see if we can get a little better. Not better. Is it really slow? I feel like it's super slow. Sorry. But anyways, you can just get an idea, you know what I mean? And there's like a lot of YouTubers out there, you know what I mean, doing similar stuff, you know what I mean? You know, I follow Russian YouTubers, you know, Russian YouTubers that, you know, that are pro-Russia, and Russian YouTubers that are not pro-Russia. You know what I mean? They're not happy with the war. They're not happy with anything. And, you know, you get to hear what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, they're moving to other countries, you know, around the area. You know, and the reason is that, again, you know, if you see what Russia looks like right now, it's totally fine. Just like what you're seeing right now. Russia and Ukraine, they're both looking like this, okay? This is Kiev, okay? Remember, they're killing and bombing and doing all this shit, right? That's what CNN says and all this other shit, right? You know what they're saying, you know? But this is right now in Kiev, okay? 2022, June, okay? It's not, you know? Yeah. So. Oh, that his name is Pavlov in Ukraine. Here, you see it right there? Pavlov. Hold on, I'll write it in the chat. Oh, there you go. You see it there? That guy. Okay. And so, you know, you see right here, you see, you know, updates from Ukraine, you know, live, whatever, you know, like all that stuff. Okay, Village Life. It was a great channel. But a lot of channels like this out there. He's not the only one, all right? Okay? So, yeah, I mean, look, long story short, man, you know what I mean? What's going on? But yeah, this is like the village life. Living the dream. You know? But anyway, so yeah, so when you get to really see what the fuck is going on out there right now, and it's not what you think it is. It's not what they tell you it is. And so that's why, look, a lot of people are like, hey, how come you don't watch Netflix or the news or anything like that? I'm like, no, man, all I do is watch YouTube, bro. I watch other people living their lives around the world. I mean, I watch news and I watch other shit on here too. You know what I mean? On YouTube, you can watch basically everything. But you know, when you look at this, look at that fat pussy. Look at that. Look at that fat Russian pussy, bro.
Bruh.
Anyways. So yeah, bro, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you get to see what's really going on out there. And it's, again, not just this guy, you know what I mean? Like, here, let's watch this other guy here.
Hello, Blaze.
All right, hold on. Here, check this guy out here. So this guy's a Russian. Okay, this guy's a Russian. And he basically, he moved out of Russia. He moved to Georgia, not the state of Georgia, Georgia the country, the ex-Soviet country.
He's a citizen boy.
And so basically, he's not a fan of Putin. He's not a fan of the whole communist shit. He's more like pro-USA. you know, he's a young kid. He's in his early 20s, you know, whatever. But yeah, long story short, you know what I mean? Like, you know, this is how Russians avoid sanctions. This is what this video is called.
Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian. Hagazun today, welcome to a brand new video. In today's video, guys, we're going to be looking at something very strange and very interesting. Today, I want to look at and talk about some of the most bizarre ways that Russians are avoiding sanctions right now. Now, just to give it a little context, sanctions that have been imposed in Russia after the start of the special military operation have been pretty devastating, not only to the Russian economy as a whole, but also to the average Russian citizen, to the average Russian person, and especially the people whose job somehow involves working with a foreign company and receiving money from abroad. So if you're any type of IT person who works in a foreign company, maybe a game developer, a YouTuber, a musician, pretty much whatever, an artist, you are fucked. Because all the biggest Russian banks are cut off from SWIFT, and also, even if a Russian bank that you're trying to receive your funds to is not sanctioned, the banks on the other end from America or Europe or whatever just would not send the payment through because they just don't want to deal with Russia at the moment. The same goes for PayPal and Payoneer, for example. TransferWise is one big one that basically just disallowed Russians to register as a whole. And yeah, pretty much if you're receiving any form of online foreign income, you're pretty much screwed in Russia. Like, if you've got your Russian bank is useless. So obviously this means that for all these people to continue doing their work that they've probably put years of their life's effort into, okay, you gotta understand this. I know you guys are gonna be like in the comments, fuck Russia, fuck all these Russians, who cares, right? I care, bro, cause I'm one. I understand it's easy to murk all the people together as a sort of a boogeyman and be like, haha, look at these motherfuckers not being able to make money. You gotta understand that this is real lives being affected, and again, it's not as bad as being bombed, but it's still bad. So basically all these people that I've described are left to mainly like two options usually. The first one is just adopting and starting handling their business through cryptocurrency. This is fine enough, but only if you work in the cryptocurrency field. If you actually have to deal with real companies, real money, if you work in IT, if you're a musician or whatever, crypto is just not a way for you to get it. Like, these real big companies would not work with crypto. So if you're not an epic NFT crypto guy, the second option for you is basically what everybody does, a lot of people have done it at least, is moving to another country and trying to open a bank account there and possibly open a business there. Usually Russians go to nearby countries where it's easy to get in there without a visa and possible to open a bank account. Georgia, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, I think also you can open an account, Turkey, and so on and so on. But those I think are the most popular options right now. And it's very viable too, and a lot of people have done this. And I've seen a lot of criticism as well online and in real life of people talking about this, how essentially all the Russians that are moving from Russia to any of the aforementioned countries are not actually leaving because they disagree with the regime and because they disagree with the military operation, but because they're just greedy fucks who are trying to evade sanctions and make more money. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a fair point, but like, what's the alternative then? Starve? Cool. I bet. If you're one of those type of people who hate on people for trying to make money and make a living and support their families and support themselves and not fucking die on the street, cool, I would like to see the way you would handle that situation. Alright, I don't know why I'm getting so fucking mad. Anyway, my point is, those are two of the main options for Russians right now. The second one, getting a bank account in another country, is also very important for a lot of people right now because, well, MasterCard and Visa both left Russia, so now Russian cards don't even work abroad and they do not work on foreign websites. So essentially, I can't like go and buy whatever merch online from a European American website with my Russian card, or I cannot pay for Netflix or Spotify or basically whatever with my Russian card. So obviously having a card that works worldwide and actually can pay for stuff abroad is very good. So yeah, those two that I mentioned are the most viable options right now to continue living your life as a Russian in the year 2022 if you make income from foreign countries. But the thing is that not everybody can really afford to do this. Still.
But anyways, so yeah, watch the guys like this, and then look, long story short, look, this guy, he founds another guy on YouTube that basically, you know what I mean, shows you how to do a fake ID, you know, get a fake fake British passport, you know, in order to in order to get a British bank account in order to get paid. So that people in Russia can, you know, figure it out. So, but anyways, yeah, so, you know, there's like a video, you know, it's a Russian guy telling other Russians, you know, how to, you know, create a fake, you know, passport, and then, you know, how to be able to use that passport, you know, and then how to beat the KYC with the picture and the this and that. It's pretty detailed, pretty interesting. But anyways, so that they can get around the sanctions so that they can get paid, you know? So, yeah, sanctions ain't really doing shit. Again, and the ruble is the strongest currency right now. So yeah, look, long story short, you know what I mean? Like, let's get back over here. Let me see. Life in the village. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. All right, I think this one. All right, so as you guys can see, you know what I mean? This is, you know, what Ukraine looks like right now. Here we can see like this guy shopping. All right. Let me see. Hold on. Sorry. 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second.
Bananas, 900 grams. Bread, a butter. This is the Harris fillets. Yeah, it's like a fish in oil.
So
It's
yeah,
almost 200 grams.
I don't know. You guys can see the prices there. But anyways, here you guys can see the prices there. But yeah, everything here. Let me let's go back a bit so you guys can see the prices. So the exchange rate is, it seems like, okay, that's a Ukrainian whatever. That's the same exchange rate as the peso. You know, the Mexican peso is like, you know, about 20, and that's 22. So basically, for $1 you get 22, whatever that is, Ukrainian thing. So basically, that's about $30, 30 something dollars. Okay. So that's a Ukrainian food. This is like a month ago. All right, a month or two ago. All right, this is in Ukraine right now.
100 grams. Bananas, 900 grams.
Bananas in the fucking Arctic, okay?
Bread, a butter.
Butter's cheap.
This is the Harris fillets. Yeah, it's like a fish in oil.
Yeah, things are cheaper than Mexico.
It's
Ukraine is cheaper than Mexico right now.
Yes. This is cacao powder. Luba needs it. This is the
Like
cream.
milk.
Yeah, you can add it where you want. It's 200 grams. Cheese, feta, 200 grams.
So again, you know, just so you can compare, you know, real quick, you know, this is so because everybody's dealing with inflation, right, and all that shit back in the U.S. right now. Then this is Ukraine, okay, and we'll do Russia in a little bit, okay, but it's basically the same shit. In fact, if this is Ukraine, you can imagine Russia is even cheaper because it's a stronger currency. So yeah.
Mushrooms, it's 550 grams. Cheese, 274 grams. This is zucchini, 460 grams.
Sup, Joe? Sup, Echo? Narajaloof? Everybody, sup?
Chocolate bar, it's
Look at that.
100 grams.
$1. Bro, everything's so cheap.
Sour cream, 200 grams. This is the green beans, 274 grams. This is cabbage, 400 grams. This is the cottage cheese, 600 grams. This is the Chinese cabbage, 300 grams. And the last one is pancakes with poppy seed. It's, I don't know how many grams. Yeah, seems it's like 800 grams approximately, because it's heavy. Yeah, it's approximately 800.
By the way, his math is a little off, but still.
Yeah, so everything is here.
His math is a little off, but still, it's about right. I'm not gonna get picky here. Isn't that interesting? There's a grocery store in Ukraine. Here, you can see the video. The title of the video here. See? Ukraine after 2 months of war, right? So I mean, because there's a lot of fucking a lot of fake news out there. You know what I mean? So just so you can get an idea of what's going on in Russia, what's going on in Ukraine, all right, what's going on over there. And again, a lot of people don't understand, but the reality is that Ukraine was part of Russia. Yeah, Ukraine has a long history and of being fought over. Ukraine has a long history of being fought over. Okay, a lot of countries in the area want Ukraine, have always wanted Ukraine for centuries, but for the most part, it's always been kind of Russian. All right, and the last, the last country that had it, was Russia. Okay, and then after the Soviet Union broke off, obviously, Ukraine was one of the countries that broke off, and it was a state. It was a state of Russia. So basically, as Russia is taking over Ukraine right now at the moment, they're not trying to kill and bomb and destroy anything. It's like a state. It's like, imagine if Florida or Texas left the United States and the United States is trying to take over. They're not trying to kill everybody. They're just trying to take over. That's it. You know what I mean? That's all they're trying to do. So yeah, sorry about that. A little troll action in the chat there. But anyways, so right now what Russia's just trying to get Ukraine back, because Ukraine is a very important piece, to the Russian Federation, man. Long story short, yeah, sorry, reading the chat there. But yeah, long story short, so remember Ukraine, that's where all the nuclear weapons were. Remember Chernobyl was there, that's where all the nuclear stuff is. So it's very important to Russia for many reasons. Also, Ukraine is split right in half with this, very thick mountainous region, and that mountainous region basically keeps the rest of Europe away from Russia. But when Ukraine is being independent and part of the UK, when it's independent and part of the EU, then all of a sudden, there's no mountain range, because now the Ukraine is right in the backyard of Moscow. Because if you look at the map, Kiev and Moscow is they're right next to each other. Kiev used to be the capital at one point of Russia. Chicken Kiev. I don't want to get into it. Kiev is, it's like fucking Russia, man. Jesus. Fuck. You know what I mean? I don't understand. People. Anyways, so yeah, it just drives me nuts, all these people out there, oh, poor Ukraine defending that shit. Look, I feel bad for Ukraine. I don't want nobody to die. I wish Ukraine could just be independent, and all the countries out there could be independent, and everybody could be nice and happy, and everybody could be kumbaya and all that bullshit. But the reality is that, most Ukrainians want to be just left the fuck alone. They would love to be independent, but if all of a sudden Russia is taking over them, whatever, bro. They don't really give a fuck. They're kind of used to it already. As you guys can see, most Ukrainians, they just live a regular, simple, normal life, and they just want to be left the fuck alone and really don't care. And they just want to be safe, and they don't want to die. And so that's kind of it. And so, if all of a sudden, Russia you know, takes over again, it's like, all right, better. You know what I mean? At least better than like the UN or the EU that we have, you know, no interest with. But again, a lot of people that want democracy, it's like this, man. There's a lot of people in Ukraine. You know, half the people want democracy. You know, those are the ones that want the EU and all that shit. And then half the people out there, you know, they still want the communism and they want the Russia. So they're the ones that side with Russia. But for the most part, most of them would rather have Russia. And the people that are in power in Ukraine right now, we already know they're the fucking Nazi people, they're whatever. So it's like, you know, the people in power right now that are bringing democracy are not the greatest fucking example, you know, of humans out there. And so when it comes to like, you know, picking Nazis over just fucking communist Russians that are probably going to leave them alone and bring them a lot of money, you know, they're like, all right, we'll go with Russia. You know, we kind of know, we fucking speak Russian, for crying out loud. We'll go with Russia. And so that's kind of it, you know what I mean? That's kind of what you're seeing there, so. Yeah. And so, like I said, the exchange rate is very similar to Mexico, so it's 20. So 1 to 20. So anything that's 20 rubles or whatever is $1. So right there, that's 100 rubles. That's basically 5. Look, 108 rubles or whatever, or 108, whatever that is. That's like $5. Okay. Okay. Yeah, man, they got Captain Morgan, they got Bacardi, they got all that shit there. Yes, they do. They have all that stuff there. You know. By the way, that's in Ukraine. We're looking at Ukraine right now. But yeah, in Ukraine they got everything American, and in Russia they have it there too for the most part. So, I mean, let me see. Man, where's the? I saw like a video. I think it was this here? Ah. Anyways, hold on. Let me find that real quick. Anyway, you guys keep watching that.
What is...
Okay, there we go.
happening, great people? It's Zangief, your Russian mate from Russia. Right now I am in Moscow next to TSRGSKK subway station.
His
in
name
the
is
place
Zangief.
where there is always,
you know, like the Street Fighter character, Zangief.
a lot of life. There is a Moscow Jazz Festival and as well some other people playing music.
So this is June 17th, okay? So this is, again, right now.
Right there, but today we are here just for one reason.
So again,
to
see a jazz festival, it's all active, everything's going, everything's fine, everything's nice.
The new McDonald's 2.0 Russian version.
So checking out Moscow.
What is interesting about this place in particular is that we are going to the very first McDonald's that was opened in the USSR. Yeah, not in Russia, but in the USSR times in 1990. Actually, the USSR first was thinking about opening the Western type of fast food places back in 1970s when they were thinking about getting prepared to the Olympic Games in 1980. But there were different reasons why this not happened because of political events. So the plans were postponed up to 1987, and 3 years after that, finally the McDonald's was open. In 2022, McDonald's decided to leave the Russian market and it was sold to a Russian company that used to be partially the franchisee of McDonald's. It used to have about 25 places in Siberia region. However, the reorganization, rebranding and other processes is not something you can do like this. And 3 days ago, it was the grand opening of this, once again, first McDonald's, not McDonald's, but Вкусно и точка. Now that is the new name of this chain, which can be translated like tasty and full stop, or like tasty and that's it. That's the meaning, tasty and that's it. It was opened 3 days ago, as well as other 12 places in Moscow, and there are plans to open other places throughout the whole Russia as soon as possible. wow, as you may see, it is really crowded inside, and I'm just trying to think what to film right now so that not to make other people feel uncomfortable, because everybody wants to make an order, everybody wants to be quick. So I guess I will double check whether the menu right there is the same as on the official website, and of course...
So again, just to reiterate, you know, remember McDonald's, you know, just like a lot of American franchises left, okay, they left, you know, Russia. But what really happened is that, you know, they left, and then Russia took over, you know, those franchises, you know, so now Russia runs them. But they're getting the McDonald's products, you know, kind of like under the table, because there's been articles, you know, where American, whatever, there's been American legislative pressure, you know, to have these companies, you know, still do business with Russia and still sell them shit. So, you know, if they're going to still remain with this McDonald's, you know, they're going to be selling them. You know, remember, you know how these franchises work, you know, they all sell the same shit. So, you know, they're just going to keep supplying them with the food so they can run the thing.
Taste some, probably...
They just lost the real estate. You know, McDonald's just lost the real estate. That's about it.
Outside of the main building, because once again, a lot of people.
So basically, you know, Russia took over. You know what I mean? Just like Russia takes over anything, you know, when in a communist state, you know what I mean? You know, it's state-owned. So now these are state-owned McDonald's, you know what I mean? Wink, wink, you know? So basically they just took over McDonald's, you know? Like the sanctions, you know, basically they just took the McDonald's over. You know, now they belong to now this is mine. This is, you know, now this belongs to Russia, not to American company no more. Look at that. Look at that McDonald's.
Здравствуйте. Спасибо. And so yeah, finally I have my order, and actually it was not that long as I expected. Everything was really quick. I decided not to stay inside the building because there are a lot of people, and I'll be talking English, and like everybody sitting tight next to each other. So I think I can find... We will have to remember this name once again. I think absolutely the same thing about pickles, cheese.
It tastes the same.
I guess, yeah, that's the cheeseburger that we used to have. So the next thing is fries, and and basically there is absolutely no logo here. And
oh yeah,
actually,
I forgot.
don't remember for sure, but at different and probably a lot of things have a sauce.
Here,
Here,
check it out.
yeah, I have this.
So you see, like the sauce, you see right there on the corner of the sauce. You can't, I don't know, I can't show you with the mouse, but in the top corner, so you see where the little black dot is on the sauce? That is supposed to be where the McDonald's sign is, but they blacked it out with a little marker.
Same labeled sauce, the barbecue sauce, but actually, like, I really don't care about this. Yeah, because I think that a great job was made throughout this short period of time, and you already have seen probably that a lot of things have been reorganized in terms of branding. Yeah, so this issue with the sauces, I guess it will be fixed in no time. But talking about other dishes, so we here see the cheeseburger. It has a partially transparent paper, like it was with the McDonald's. I think that actually this package really reminds me of what the original package was, except for the absence of the M letter. But actually, if we take a look at it at different angles, yeah, we will not see any label of the new brand. But we can finally see the cheeseburger. First taste. With the first bite, I had a feeling that there is something different, something about the dough, but with the second bite, I understood that actually it is, I would say at least 99% the same as it was in the original McDonald's. Maybe it's 100% the same, because basically the suppliers, as far as we know up to this point, are the same. As for the meat, I don't see much difference.
So anyways, all right, let's now move on to other stuff. Let's move on to China right now. But yeah, so now, you know, China's going through their own shit, you know what I mean? You know, China, they're going through a lot of downturn. I'm trying to find some videos on the China thing. So there's a lot of floods out there. There's a lot of people protesting. There's a lot of people that don't want to work. There's a lot of people that don't want to, get under the COVID restrictions anymore. Yeah, shit's getting wacky out there. I'm trying to... Man. Give me a second. You guys can kind of watch that for a second. But yeah, there's like a lot of stuff out there. I'm just trying to show you videos and show you a little proof, show you a little bit in the background, so you guys can kind of see, what's going on. So you guys don't just like take my dumbass word for it. So I apologize. Give me 1 second. I think let me show you this. I'm watching like some news there, some Chinese news there. Man, where's hold on a second. So yeah, sorry. This is like the worst, I know. Worst content, just me staring here while you guys are watching the Chinese news in the background. Ay. I'm trying to find like some good content here to put in the background so I can show you. I guess we'll go with this. Ah, fuck.
Virginity!
It was pretty freaking rough in there. It's absolutely awful. Manner of noises coming out of people's windows.
What's
going on here? I can go through here. Check it out.
That's China.
I mean the car.
Oh, the car. Yeah.
How's the car gonna get through this? Oh well. Never mind.
So, long story short, what you start realizing real soon is that, like, China, yeah, they made a lot of advances in the last 20 years, but they're still so fucking far behind. It's not even funny. And it's kind of crazy how far behind they are. And it is pretty insane. But, at the same time, it's crazy how far advanced they are. They're so far advanced. But at the end of the day, they're not totally cashless. You know what I mean? I know what you're saying. Like, they are pretty cashless. They're pretty cashless, but they're not 100%, not even close. And China is like huge, and there's a lot of empty space in between China. They got those slaves, in the Zhejiang, whatever the fuck region up north. They got a lot of shit. So, let me see. A little China there. But yeah, China's, they're not doing so good, man. They're really not doing so well. They're doing pretty bad. And so they're dealing with a lot of natural disasters. They're dealing with food shortages. They're dealing with, like I said, they're locking everybody up. Their currency is also turning into shit. I can go on and on. It seems like Russia is the country that's pulling ahead here. But again, Russia's not in any position to be like the world reserve currency or trying to take over the world or anything like that. They're just trying to take care of their own shit. They just want to, they're already big enough and they're just trying to do their own thing over there. I don't think they're really trying to like take over the world. They just want Ukraine and maybe a few other countries that used to be part of the USSR. But when it comes to China, China is really not in a position to take over the world either. What the fuck are they going to do? They have, the best, strongest economy? Well, yeah, they got the strongest economy because they're like the biggest fucking country on the planet. They're like 1 billion plus people. But other than that, you know, their yuan is not, you know what I mean? Their yuan is not any whatchamacallit, in any position to be world reserve currency. Like I said, you know, they're in, the yuan is in worse shape than the dollar. And when it comes to like culture, you know, no way. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the world would still rather have American U.S. culture. You know what I mean? Like American culture over you know, Chinese culture any day of the day. You know, forget it. You can't even compare. Because remember, the Chinese culture comes with you know, the credit score, and it comes with all that Chinese totalitarianism. You know, and people don't want that. They want freedom, and they think that the U.S. is free. But unfortunately, they don't know. You know, I'm talking about other countries around the world. You know, when you're talking about the Ugandas and the Mexicos and the Hondurases and the, you know, the fucking Chiles and you know what I mean, the Lithuanias of the world. You know, those countries out there, whatever the fuck, you know, regular countries. You know, they think the U.S. is the land of the free and everything's all wonderful and hunky dory. And same as Canada and same as Australia and same as other rich European nations. But that's far from the truth. So you know, we're gonna see a major change. You know, a lot of times when you know, a new world power emerges, it's not who you think it is. So, for example, you know, the U.S., you know, being, you know, we became the world reserve currency. We became the #1 most powerful country in the world all of a sudden after World War II. Huh? So after World War III, we don't fucking know. After we could have World War III, and all of a sudden Brazil is the fucking, you know, most powerful country in the world. You guys ever watch Starship Troopers? You know, so like how Brazil is like the fucking the capital or whatever the fuck of the world. So I mean, you don't know. We don't fucking know, man. You know, all you got to do is make sure you got yourself some cash flow. Make sure you know how to fuck, you know, meaning what is cash flow? You know, have a business, you know, that's going to be paying you money. You know, and it doesn't matter what fucking currency it is. You know, whether it's dollars or euros or Bitcoin or fucking turtle shells. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? As long as you got a good business, you know what I mean, that will bring you whatever currency is in fucking fashion at the moment, you're good. You're good to go. So, you know, do something like that. Also, you know, gold and silver are great. By the way, someone in the chat said, Live Studios said, shout out to you, said Uganda, they just found 12 trillion in gold. If they make their currency gold backed, we'll all be trying to move to Africa. Yeah, but that would also put a dent in the gold price and gold stock. But yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I know, right? Move to Uganda. Yeah, but you're not going to get any of that gold. You're going to be, if you move to Uganda, you're going to be one of the slaves, you know? You're going to be working, or you're going to be a housekeeper for one of these Ugandan fucking princes. This is, you know, you're going to be like the housekeeper for fucking, remember the guy from, damn it, was it Coming to America? You know, fucking Eddie Murphy. You're going to be like one of those fucking white slaves for Eddie Murphy. You know, some shit like that. That's all you're going to be, you know, if you go out there. You, me, anybody. But anyways, that's, by the way, so I looked that up because when we were, that's why I was like a little quiet. I was doing a little search and looking it up. You're right. That is out there. Here, let me show you guys. I mean, there was a bunch of articles, you know, on it, but, you know, here you go. Look at that. See? Isn't that crazy? Well, yeah, I just did a quick search. See, Uganda gold. All right. See, Uganda says exploration shows 31 million. Whatever the fuck. It has a lot of gold. That's crazy, huh? 31 million tons of gold ore. Isn't that crazy? That's, yeah, a new article. Look, June 8th. So, that's the string. So, yes, for sure. That's true. So, yeah, it's definitely going to affect the gold price. Probably like in the negative. But who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? People, all that news does is, you know, kind of like emphasize, you know, how valuable gold is. So if anything, if this brings the value of gold down for a minute, you know, buy the dip. You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me? Because you already know, you know, as soon as the dollar, that's what I'm saying. Like, we might just go straight to a gold standard, because that's the thing. As soon as you know, as soon as the fucking dollar fails and we have no currency, all currencies might just be gold backed. You know what I mean? So we're gonna, you know, we'll see. We'll figure it out. And we don't know how much gold the U.S. has. You know what I mean? Like, don't be, getting it twisted out there. The U.S., might have a lot of motherfucking gold, in their bank, if you know what I'm saying. We have no idea. So, we'll see but again, we're not going to see until they run the dollar into the ground. And it's going to cause a lot of pain. It's going to cause a lot of pain, as we see that dollar run into the ground. But it's going to happen. That has to happen first. And we're on our way to see that play out. So yeah. See, foreigners kicked out of China. So yeah, like foreigners are not wanted in China. They had not been wanted in China since the whole COVID thing started. So like in China, they make everybody believe in China, all right, that COVID, the whole virus came from outside of China. The U.S. basically, created COVID and gave it to China. That's what Chinese media and all the Chinese official shit says, that it was Americans that fucking infected China. Well, you can't make this shit up, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's that's where we're at with that, you know what I mean? So that's that situation. That's fucking hilarious. So, the hell is this? But yeah, China's going through. And so why are they locking everybody up in China? Why is everybody up in China, being locked up? Why are they stopping production? Why are they stopping everything? Oh yeah, here, check this out. Hold on.
境外势力在鼓动中国居民秋歌抗议或流动音乐会，这项活动是境外人员篡夺指使的阴谋，让大家明辨是非，通过正确的途径反映合理诉求，不要给境外势力机会，谢谢配合。
How stupid do you have to be? But it just ramps up xenophobia. So now, if you're a foreigner living in a building compound, and there's been people, like banging pots and pans, the government goes out and says foreign forces are inciting this. All your neighbors are going to look at you as if you're the person who's been inciting this.
Yeah, but there's a good point to make, is that a huge chunk of people will laugh at stuff. I showed this story to people outside of Shanghai that haven't seen this story.
Yeah.
And the Chinese people roll their eyes and laugh because this is outlandish to blame something like this. The problem is that a certain group of people will latch onto this.
Yeah.
The lost generation people, the Red Guard people that grew up under Chairman Mao.
Yeah.
And number two, it's not even the government's purpose to say, oh, everyone out there now.
Again.
But yeah, anyway, so that's China. But anyway, so Opie says the American citizens are the largest army in the world. But yeah, you're right, Opie. And by the way, to add insult to injury, so right now, me, American, in Mexico, all right, with my Mexican wife, okay? My Mexican wife still doesn't have her papers. We've just never gone through that. She doesn't want her papers, whatever. We're happy here living in Mexico. But, in order for her to get her papers, she would have to go through this process. You already fucking know. It's hell on earth. Takes fucking forever just for her to get her papers, to become a citizen, even though we're married and yada yada yada. But anyways, long story short, if I have a kid, a U.S. if I a U.S. citizen living in Mexico or living in any country in the world, I have a kid right now with my Mexican wife. As soon as that kid is born, that kid is not only a Mexican citizen, but he's also a U.S. citizen. How fucking crazy is that? So automatically, no matter where the fuck my kid is born on Earth, he's a U.S. citizen, plus whatever citizen of whatever country. Isn't that crazy? So it's like you can't even escape it if you want to. Like, bruh, my kid, but the only way for my kid to not be a U.S. citizen is for me to, never tell, if I have a kid, is to never tell the U.S. government that I have a kid. You know what I mean? And just do his Mexican paperwork or whatever, and that's it. But just keep him off the grid and never, tell the U.S. government I have a kid in Mexico. And that way he doesn't get his, he doesn't get, the citizenship, because all that citizenship is going to do is just make sure that he gets taxed. It was just fucking crazy. So, no need for that. Isn't that crazy? If he wants to get it, it's like that. But, you know, I'll let him decide that when he gets older. If he gets older. Him, her. So, yeah, man. Let me see. Let me see what other content. Here, let's check Russia out. You guys, so anyways, I think, what time is it? It's almost 10 o'clock. Okay, so hey, we're trying to do like an hour and a half here on these things. Do you guys have any comments, anything you guys want me to chat about? I don't even know. How many people are watching? I have no idea. I don't really keep track here. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying these shows. You know, I'm going to see if I can upload regular episodes, you know what I mean? Like, on the channel as well, going forward. But yeah, like, to me, it's like there's a lot of crazy things going on. You know, today I just wanted to show you guys, you know, what's kind of going on for real. Let me see if I can. I mean, so look, I don't think China's a threat. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's just too many reasons as to why I don't think, you know, they're a threat. Let me see. Anyways, I'm trying to find I used to have all these videos or these channels that had like really good China news. I don't know why I can't find it now all of a sudden. Maybe they got banned. I doubt it because, you know, a lot of the, you know, there's a lot more there's no China censorship anymore, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know, Mexico's going through a lot of crazy shit too. You know what I mean? Mexico's, you know, also going to be a major power to contend with going forward. You know, so, you know, a lot of people don't, you know, they're not really, you know, a lot of people are really not, what is it? Like, taking Mexico seriously either. Same as India. You know? Nick Narujulu says, "Oh man, I have a lot to say." Do you? Do you know? Let me see. Let me see what else we got here. But yeah. Anyway, so you know, right now, like the whole U.S. you know, situation is, you know, U.S. is weak, and so other countries are kind of like taking their time to strike. But, you know, when it's all said and done, I don't think that, you know, the U.S. is going anywhere, you know, to tell you the truth. And you got to remember, you know, Europe's, you know, army, you know, most of Europe's, you know, army is subsidized by the United States of America, you know. So, you know, the United States' army is, you know, basically the European army, the U.S. military. You know, the U.S. military is very strong, very powerful. You know, no matter how hard times, you know, how hard our times we go, I think we'll be fine. You know what I mean? So, but again, it's all going to depend on the currency. No, sorry, I had to sneeze there. Anyway, so, but yeah, I think it's all going to depend on the currency. So we're going to all see that. And I think that the U.S. is not going to just, you know, allow, you know, the U.S. dollar to like fail. And then all of a sudden there's no U.S. dollar, you know, equivalent to back it, you know, meaning, you know, I think if once the U.S. dollar fails, honestly, this is what I really think is going to happen. I think once the U.S. dollar fails, I think that the U.S. already has a backup and it's ready to roll out. And depending on the situation, I think that's going to depend on how and what currency they bring out. Now, because of Russia's aggression and what Russia's doing right now, it will force America, the U.S. of A., plus China and any other country out there, you know, to, you know, put up or shut up. So what's going to determine, you know, the world reserve currency, I think, going forward is going to be, again, who has the largest pile of gold, the largest pile of commodities, in their bank account at the end of the day. And right now, you know, Russia's putting a case for that. You know, they're making a huge case for that because, you know, the petrodollar, the dollar, it's failing, and you know, people don't want it no more because it's a currency, you know, based on debt. And you know, there's a lot of currencies that are based on debt, and the banking system as we know it is not, you know, gonna last for much longer. Yes, we're gonna have banks. Yes, we're gonna have a banking system. You know, yes, we're gonna have cryptocurrency. We're gonna have a lot of things, but you know, we're not gonna have, you know, this. I think this world that's controlled by world central banks the way that we're used to. You know, because right now the world central banks, you know, they run the show. You know, they do. And I think that that's also kind of coming to an end, you know, or at least, you know, their influence is not going to be as deep or as powerful as it used to be. And, you know, again, it's not just because of the cryptocurrency thing, but it's going to be a lot of factors. You know, right now, you know, the bankers, you know, they run their banks, you know, through the Fed, you know, through the world, you know, what is it? Through the world monetary fund. Sorry, there we go. That's what I meant. The world. So, you know, the world. Sorry. You know, like the World Monetary Fund. You know, alongside all the other central banks. You know, they're basically kind of run by the U.S. Fed. And once that fails, you know what I mean, like these central banks, you know, they're trying to set something else up. You know, whether it's BRICS or something else. But you know, the thing with the BRICS, like, I'm sorry, BRICS. Sorry, late. It's getting late here. Not BRICS. BRICS is something completely different. Again, all these nations that are backing their currencies with commodities, you know, with like in gold, silver, oil, whatever. You know, they're trying to create this new currency. You know, but anyways, they're trying to topple the dollar. But regardless, you know what I mean? Like these central banks, you know what I mean? Their currency, you know what I mean? That, you know, they're trying to create, whether it's the SDR or whatever fucking, you know, world currency they're trying to create, you know, it's not going to work because it's all based on debt. You know, again, you know, the World Monetary Fund, the IMF, you know, the International Monetary Fund, you know, all the International Monetary Fund, they're the ones that are behind getting all these third world countries, all these small nations into debt. You know, so much debt that they owe these banks their country. Or, you know, again, you know, so a lot of people are like, oh, China, you know, is out there, you know, going to Africa and going to all these small countries and they're, you know, indebting them and then kind of taking over. Well, look, first of all, the U.S. has been doing that for a while. Then, you know, the whole IMF and you know, like, you know, not just the International Monetary Fund, but all these, you know, well, the IMF is basically the one that's behind that. But, you know, it's all like a system. You know, there's the BIS, you know, the IMF, and the which one? And the first one. But anyways, long story short, you know, these fucking banks, you know, all that shit's coming to an end, you know, because again, they're all based on the currencies like the euro, the dollar, and they're all based on debt, and you know, that's all coming to an end. And again, you know, the reason it's coming to an end is because, you know, once we reestablish, and I mean, let's say that, you know, again, once, you know, the chicken comes home to roost, and it's come to time to put up or shut up, because, you know, right now, again, Russia is pushing along with other countries, you know, hey, look, our currency's strong, and we're now a strong currency, stronger than the dollar, because, you know, hey, we're backed in commodities, we're taking over countries, you know, we're doing all this fucking shit while you're doing the opposite, and you're full of debt, nobody wants your shit. So, you know, they're going to force the U.S., you know, along other countries to, again, you know, hey, put up or shut up. Hey, you know, is your currency backed by something? You know, whether, you know, is it backed by gold? Is it backed by something? And so, you know, obviously, I think that this president that we have in the U.S. right now, he's not going to do any of that. I think he's going to run it into the ground. And then the next president we have, you know, he's going to be a very conservative president. I don't know who the fuck it is, but whoever that is, you know, and then he's going to push, you know, strong for, hey, we need a new currency because our currency is failing and we can't be we have to be number one and yada, yada, yada. And we got gold and we got oil and we got the military and we got America and whatever the fuck, you know, and he's going to push for the new American, you know, world reserve currency. And if we can establish one, you know, again, because we can back it up, you know, not the petrodollar, but some other, you know, some other form of that, then hey, yeah, I think we'll be all right. But regardless, I don't think it's gonna just end up like that, man. I think we're really at a point right now where as the dollar fails and the dollar reestablishes itself, I think that it's gonna be a free for all, and every country is gonna want to do something. Want to have like their own say, or at least have more sovereignty over the value of their currency. Or more, at least allow the free market, the open market, to determine a value, fair value, real value, on their currency, instead of the dollar or U.S. politics towards a country. It's because, again, a lot of people they don't understand why Cuba or Venezuela or other countries have failed. Yes, sure, politics have kind of sucked there. But you know what? There's a lot of countries with even shittier politics, and they haven't failed that miserably. And, the reason really is because, again, the war, the economic war that the U.S., the mighty U.S. has caused in those countries and other countries. And because those countries, again, at least for the case of Venezuela, has assets like oil and other commodities that they can still stay afloat on. That's what it's allowed them, to continue, kind of chugging along and fighting and whatever. But anywho, we're living through some interesting times, So they're like along the Russia-China border there, I think. So, we're gonna see. Again, now, like I said, when with Russia invading Ukraine, I think that they really pushed. They really pushed the ahead on, like, okay, we're gonna need to reestablish a brand new world reserve currency or a brand new currency or something. And that's why they're pushing for BRICS. That's their new BRICS currency, or they're pushing for anything, something. Because the whole BRICS thing is just trying to be like, nice about it, but that's more like a new Bretton Woods, if you guys don't know what the Bretton Woods agreement was, look it up. But we're gonna need to reestablish a new currency soon, and I hope it's the dollar. As an American, I think we all do. But for the most part, it's going to be very interesting to see, what new currency gets reestablished. But, again, just going back to what I was saying earlier, if you got cash flow, who gives a fuck? Like, really, what currency it is, like, you're going to be okay. So, as long as you survive, as long as you know what you're doing, you'll be all right. But, I don't know, man. Like, it's going to take a lot to take down the U.S., there's no other nation that comes close, when it comes to like military power. Number one, like no matter how many gay fucks, we got in the military, again, I got nothing against the gays, what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be, funny, because the whole, whole situation we got now with the army and the military. But, again, it doesn't matter how gay our army is, we're going to be fine. We're still pretty tough and pretty badass. And again, we maintain armies throughout the world. So, most of Europe's army is our army. Most of other armies and nations that are our allies, is our army. So, we got armies in Korea. We got armies all over fucking Europe. We got armies in the fucking, everywhere. Okay? All right? We got them up your fucking ass. All right? So, Russia can't really say that. They're not trying to fucking be that. China, not even close. Get out of here. They got fucking paper airplanes and shit out there. So, yeah. So when it comes to the fucking army, you gotta remember, and you gotta still enforce these things, Look, if we didn't have the army, if the USA didn't have the army that it does, the U.S. currency, the U.S. dollar would have already been kaput. It would have already been done. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things that kept the British pound, the world reserve currency for such a long time was the British Army, the British naval army, fleet, the Navy, the military. But then after World War II, and then have shit, Like, the U.S. was the only one. They were the most powerful ones, so then they became. So it's the same shit, you know what I mean? It's whoever becomes the most powerful country. Now, if all of a sudden our own country, the USA, goes into civil war and we start fighting with each other, we cannot maintain the armies in Europe. We cannot maintain the armies, you know, in Korea, in Japan, all over the world. You know, we cannot maintain our own army. You know, we cannot maintain our own army abroad as well. You know what I mean? Not just these are armies that we maintain. And then, you know, a lot of our own military is going to be, you know, at home, you know, fighting the people or some shit like that. So, you know, that's the worst case scenario. I really hope we don't go down that route. But if that's the case, then it's all fucking, you know, there ain't no US dollar world reserve currency or anything like that. And then it really would be sovereign, and it really would be just a free for all, and we'll see. So look at that. Hansen says, shout out to Hansen. Shit, man, Daily Wire signed Jordan Peterson. That's awesome. When Jose, when are they gonna sign me? I should be on the Daily Wire, right? Anyways, but yeah, you know, I think that right now, the U.S. is definitely hitting a speed bump. You know, it's definitely not going to be easy. Things are going to kind of suck for a while. But, you know, for anyone to say, like, oh, the U.S. is done, the empire is done, you know, China's taken over, blah, blah. Nah, listen, man, a lot of motherfucking things have to happen. Even after, for example, like when the Roman Empire fell, if you guys do some research, the fucking Roman Empire didn't fucking fall and then like fucking Turkestan fucking took over the next day. No, bro. No. Okay? The fucking Roman Empire took fucking centuries to dissolve. Okay? Took a long motherfucking time. All right? And we still have Roman Empire, whatchamacallit? Like, we still have Roman, what's the word I'm looking for? Customs, not customs, but yeah, you know, things from back then that we still hold. You know, things from the Roman Empire, you know what I mean? Things from back then that we still do today. You know, so, you know, that's how powerful the fucking... And so I think the American Empire, you know, is pretty close to that. You know, the Spaniards, you know, did that with their empire. You know, England did that. You know, there's been many empires that have been, you know, very influential, you know, around the fucking world. And we're no different. We are no different. So, you know, right now, you know, if another empire, if anyone else, what the fuck are we watching here, bro? Anyways, if we're, what the fuck was that, bro? Fucking Vin Diesel selling fucking hair products or whatever. Anyways, so you know what I mean? Like, in order for some, you know, other empire to topple the U.S. empire, you know, they need to topple our military. They need to topple our culture, okay? Which, again, I don't see any country doing either of those, okay? And they need to topple our currency, which, again, you know, still hasn't done. You know, we still haven't even come close to that. So, yeah, man. Yes, a lot of Western culture is based on Roman customs. I think that is what you're looking for. Yes, yes. So, yeah, that's basically it. So, I mean... Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's not over. The fat lady has not sung, and we have a lot of fat ladies, okay? We have a lot of fat ladies. And they have yet to sing, okay? So, we're good. Thank God. Please don't sing.
Bruh.
Hold on.
How dare you?
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think it's not that bad, you know what I mean? I really don't think, you know, China's in any position to be taking over anytime soon. You know, they're so far from being a world reserve currency or a world superpower. You know, come on. Their army cannot compete with ours, you know what I mean? Like, it just cannot, you know, and, you know, our military is a lot bigger. You know what I mean? Again, if all of a sudden China is going to war with us, they're going to war with fucking Europe. They're going with, you know, war to, you know, with Australia. They're going to war with, you know, a bunch of other fucking countries. You know what I mean? Like Japan, Korea. I can go on and on. And, you know, we got fucking military bases right up their ass. They ain't got no Chinese nothing out here. There ain't no fucking military base in Mexico with Chinese nothing on it, all right? Get the fuck out of here. So, you know, I mean, the closest is maybe Canada. But that's another story. Fucking Trudeau, motherfucker. Anyways, So anyway, so yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know, man. It's really not what we think. So if you look at, you know, how people are living in China right now, you know, if you look at how, man, I don't know. Let me see if I can find those videos, man. I want to show you those, man. Fuck. Oh, there we go. Yes, I found the channel. Shit. I knew it. Okay, here we go. All right, I haven't seen this. No, let me see. Something new. Okay, so see, look right here. See, these are all the videos. Which videos? All right, here.
Or let it rot. Recently, the term "bai lan" or "let it rot" has become popular among young people in China. Prior to this trend, it was "tong ping" or "lying flat." On the Chinese social media platform Weibo, topics related to bai lan have generated hundreds of millions of reads and discussions since March 2022. Frustrated by the growing uncertainty and lack of economic opportunities, young Chinese are resorting to this new buzzword, bai lan, to express their attitude toward life. It means voluntarily giving up the pursuit of life goals because they realize that they are simply unattainable. Someone has to be a loser, why not me? It has become the iconic slogan of the waste group. Similar Chinese expressions include to smash a cracked pot or dead pigs are not afraid of boiling water. What are the behaviors of bai lan? On a Quora-like Chinese website, it's summarized as follows. My life is a mess. My attitude towards work. Why don't I quit my job? Gaming? Losing is fine. Weight loss? I don't care if I die from obesity. Old age? I quit living. Some people describe it this way. Sleep until 11 o'clock in the morning. Get up and order takeout. Turn on the computer to watch live streaming. Stare at the computer screen all day, grinning. Hiding under the covers at 12 o'clock at night, thinking about life, while turning on various social media platforms on the phone, raging against the injustice of this society.
That's in China.
Another, more brilliant summary goes like this. Previously,
sounds familiar, right? Sounds familiar? So as I'm saying, like, you know, and by the way, remember, China's humongous. So shit that's going out there, shit that's going on over there, it's a lot worse, you know what I mean, than it is over here because there's just so much more people, more everything. And again, they're way more behind than we are.
People called me a loser. I replied, damn, who are you talking about? Now, when people call me a loser, I reply, you're a good judge of character. Chinese youth aren't just venting their frustrations verbally, there are more and more of them practicing it in reality. One thing that Bai Lan and Tong Ping have in common is they are both homebound.
By the way, Fox Mulder out there, he's like, the U.S. supply of diesel engine oil could run out in a matter of months. No more semi-trucks, no more groceries, no more... Listen, by the way, Mexico right below, okay, they have the largest oil reserves, okay, like in the world, one of the largest, okay? And guess who you're going to be fucking buying your oil from? Mexico. So Mexico's going to be a very rich country. That's right. So anyways, I'm living out here now. Fuck yeah. Just in case you... But anyways, but yeah, no, listen, you're going to be fine. Remember, all these crises is just, you know, in order to get, you know, shit worse. But, yeah, no. You know what I mean? You'll be fine. I mean, oil is right there. By the way, there's no shortages or anything like that out here. There's nothing like that. We have inflation. We have a lot of things because, you know, the currency out here in Mexico is very closely tied to the dollar. But, you know, other than that, you know what I mean? It says, yeah, no, like, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like, the thing that sucks about the USA is that you have no manufacturing anymore, man. You fucking, you know, got rid of everything. So the thing is, it's like, it's going to be a a rough time while the U.S., restarts all its manufacturing again, and then you'll be fine. Because the thing is that you need manufacturing, man. You need people to fucking make blue jeans. You need people to fucking make, shoes and pillows and fucking, whatever the fuck it is, man. Instead of shipping everything from China. Which, by the way, all that shit that's shipped from China has like all this chemicals and it's poison. It's all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? I want, like everything in Mexico, like everything I buy, it says like made in Mexico for the most part. You know what I mean? Like that's what you want. You remember when I was growing up back in the 80s, I remember everything was like made in the USA. The fuck, man? So we got to get back to that. And we will, but it's going to be, we got to get that started again. And, so. But anyways, back to China. Back to what's going on in China real quick,
Stay.
It's like Mexico and Israel should join BRICS. Yeah, but the thing is that that's what I think. I really think that the whole BRICS thing is basically just to have a currency so that they can deal with the USA and deal with other countries. But let's say that Russia and Mexico are dealing with themselves, over whatever business. They're just gonna deal with it. That's it. They don't get a fucking problem, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing, So most countries are just gonna trade. It's not, it's you know what I mean? So like no, it's this whole BRICS thing is really more to help facilitate trade with European nations and this other shit. And at the end of the day, man, they're trying to create a currency. Like I'd say, like look, how the BRICS currency is gonna work. If they establish it, is that they're gonna have again Russia, India, Brazil, whatever, South Africa, I forgot what other country, but all these countries, they're gonna be part of the BRICS nations. They're all gonna have their currency, their individual currency is gonna be valued at something, okay, and that value is coming from gold, silver, oil, the commodities, okay, and then what they're going to do is get all 5 of those BRICS countries, all right, and they're going to average out the value of each one of those currencies, and then the average, that's going to be the value of the BRICS. You know what I mean? So I know it's a little complicated, but that's basically it. That's kind of like how it's going to work. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? For most countries, if they're going to just be dealing one-to-one, you know what I mean? Like I'm just, Mexico dealing with Russia, Indonesia dealing with Russia, Indonesia dealing with South Africa, whatever, you know what I mean? Cuba dealing with Africa. They're just going to deal with their currency. They're not going to deal with a BRICS currency. That BRICS currency is also not going to be, valuing other currencies or valuing other things, It's just going to be, again, like a tool to kind of just help, certain nations, you know what I mean, out there, again, like Europe. I know Europe is not a nation, but, nations in Europe, the USA, Canada, whatever, so they can, I guess, have something, they can revalue, but at the end of the day, look, that doesn't really not going to make any sense, man. I've never believed in SDRs and BRICS and any of this shit. Is fucking retarded, man. You know what I mean? It should just be one currency. That's it. And that currency should be, backed by gold. And it should be, again, the most powerful currency. If there's going to be a currency that's going to be the one that's going to give value, it's the same as it always is, man. It's always been the most powerful fucking nation. How do you determine that? Powerful culture, powerful army, powerful economy. So, we got to get right now, the whole world is going to go to shit, okay? And as we rebuild, we're going to see if the USA, rebuilds the best. I think we will. I hope we do. If not, we're fucked, but that's it. That's it. And so other countries, right now, like Mexico, other countries in Africa, other countries in Latin America, but mainly, like, for example, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina in some cases, South Africa, sorry, other countries, Nigeria, and other countries, you know what I mean? Like out there, you know who you are, I don't know who you are, but anyways, but these countries, you know what I mean? They got India, they got very powerful fucking economies already, man, and they can, hold on their own. They don't need the fucking dollar to value their shit, all right, or any other currency for that matter, you know what I mean? So. We're going to see, man. We're going to see, like, it's going to be very interesting. But this is why you want to hold things like gold and silver, Bitcoin, knowledge, live in a place where the supply chain is not going to be disrupted. You know, because in Mexico, I'm not really, I'm not really worried because again, a lot of things are grown in Mexico, made in Mexico. You know what I mean? And we don't have any problems, you know, with any relationships with the USA or China or any country out there. And if all of a sudden we don't get shipments from China or whatever, we'll be fucking fine. You know, they're already building, microchip plants out here. You know, we already got our own oil. We already got our own, lithium. You know, Tesla's building shit out here. You know, Mexico's fucking, the hardest working country in the world. And again, I'm just talking about Mexico. There's so many other countries out there. If you go look at Africa and you go see Nigeria and you look at other countries in Africa that, that are already like pretty established, you're like, holy shit, man. What, Nigeria? Do you guys want to see fucking Nigeria? Here, I'll show you Nigeria, man.
Being at home all year round, not going to work, not going to school or making friends, not getting married, and having no children. They isolate themselves from society. This group is similar to the Western NEET group, or not in employment, education, or training. There is an online group concerning this subject on Baidu, the top search engine in China, which has over 830,000 followers. On China's third largest online platform, Douban, similar groups such as Home Crouching Minor League have more than 20,000 active members as well. The logic of Bailan is, trying hard doesn't always pay off, not trying means always being comfortable. When young people actively choose to quit, their bosses and parents, their social circles, and the wider community can no longer make demands and criticize them. Theoretically, an attitude of letting it rot can bring these young people back to a stress-free state in the face of pressure. A Chinese netizen said, "Since I have seen through what Bailan is all about, it's like a big burden has been lifted. I'm just an ordinary person. When I first got out of school, I thought I must work hard to make big money and get a side business as well. Later, I found that even if I worked hard, there wasn't much difference in salary and the side business wasn't going well. So I was tired as a whole, and then later I found out that I would not enjoy life with more or less money, and it's impossible to buy a house or car with just a salary. After realizing all this, I stopped trying." People have compared Bailan with Tongping, or let it rot versus lie flat in English. The two phrases share a similar gene, but they signify a quantitative and qualitative change. Lying flat is a kind of low desire life. People don't buy houses and cars, or even fall in love, get married or have children, and work at low-paying jobs or not work at all to maintain a minimum standard of living. The Tongping movement was started by a young man who shared online about staying idle at home for 2 years. He described it as not working, not doing any labor, occasionally doing odd jobs, and spending just over 200 RMB a month. He declared, "Lying flat is justice." When it comes to Bailan, it's to give up any long-term planning and actions, to enjoy life in advance, to kill time, and not care about the future. In the eyes of many young people, nothing matters, and everything can be let go. They even believe that many others are actually engaging in this lifestyle already, except they don't know it. State media have taken note of this trend. In the official media articles that aim at encouraging youth, the young people of China are explicitly asked to refuse to Bailan in thought, attitude, and action, so that they can live up to the ardent expectations of the party and the people and achieve a glorious life with youth and hard work. Chinese...
Todd Meek says, those are facts. I was just there during Christmas New Year season for like 6 weeks and everyone back. And here's food shortages. So I live in Mexico. Yeah, there's no shortages out here. Look, we have inflation. Don't get me wrong. As me, I don't really feel it per se, with by the way, my income is terrible, you know what I mean? But like out here, I can kind of survive, you know what I mean? Like it's no big deal. Shout out to all you patrons and everyone's, donating and sending money and yada, yada, yada. But anyways, out here, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, things are going up in price, just like in the U.S. For like the typical Mexican, it kind of sucks, like in the U.S., but it's nowhere near what in the U.S. is, Things are still fucking crazy cheap out here, but, certain things like meat are expensive, you know what I mean? They're getting expensive, and things are getting expensive out here too, but, it is what it is. What is this video? It's China Insights, you see? I think. Anyways, China Insights is a channel.
official media
sounds like they're giving up on their version of the Chinese dream. The American dream, like many are here, I actually feel, yes, exactly, yes. So, you know, a lot of fucking people think, oh, China, powerful, oh, they're gonna kick our ass and whatever. No, man, no, what the fuck? They're going through worse fucking shit over there than they are. They got more fucking virgins than we do, okay? Like, for reals. Like,
has also published...
Anyways, here, let me show you some Uganda, you know, or fucking Nigeria, or fucking, was it, anyways, so...
Hi everyone, it's Kaya Eno here for DW Travel, reporting from Lagos, Nigeria. I am currently in the center of the city at a place called Marina, and this place is home to one of the biggest markets in Nigeria. Today I'm going to be taking you around Lagos and showing you some of the nicest spots and best places to visit if you're coming to Lagos, Nigeria for the first time. So come along with me while I show you the diversity of Lagos, Nigeria.
You see, it's not
Lagos
like,
is the most populous city in Nigeria and in Africa.
It has over 20 million. You know what people think, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like fucking people living in huts
from more than 250 ethnic groups. It is also the economic and financial hub of Nigeria. It is a city filled with a vibrant culture, lifestyle, and it has many amazing locations that you should definitely check out if you're traveling down here for the first time. First off, let's check out the Lekki Arts and Craft Market, which is tucked away in one corner of the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway. It is one of the biggest arts and craft markets in Nigeria, with a variety of professional...
Anyways, yeah, I'm not going to watch the whole video. It's like, this video might get me in trouble. But anyways...
home to luxurious beach houses like the Lighthouse Beach House, which is named after the old lighthouse that can be found further inland. Last on our list is Badagry, which is a small coastal town located between Lagos and the Seme border in Benin Republic. Today we are headed...
But anyways, fucking...
an opinion piece with the headline, Bailan is not desirable. What is lacking is a period of down-to-earth efforts. In early May of this year, China's President Xi Jinping encouraged the country's youth to establish great ideals and incorporate their personal goals into the bigger picture of the Chinese nation.
Yeah, 200 million people in Nigeria. I mean, remember, the USA has like 350 million. Mexico has like 200 million or less than that.
And people. For the party and the country, youth are the most worthy of love and expectation. Young people are like saplings that thrive on the earth, and one day they will grow into towering trees and hold up the sky. Young people are like the rising sun that constantly gathers energy, and one day they will shine in every corner of the earth with their heat and light. The hope of the party and the country rests on the youth. But it's too difficult to meet the party's demands. The social system created by the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, is the real cause of young people choosing to lie flat and let it rot.
Yeah, remember the social
Chinese netizens write, I want to live a normal life too, but how can I be normal when the society is not normal? Under the hashtag Tongping and Bailan, one comment reads, it's too hard for young people to get ahead, and working hard is not worth it. A typical scenario for people of Bailan is, no matter how hard one works, one can't afford to buy a home, and no matter how hard one works, one can't get a promotion. What is the point of working hard? So let it rot. This is something that even the official media of the CCP is well aware of. An article published by the CCP's official media, Red China, tries to analyze this current trend among the youth. It alludes to it as a systemic problem. With limited resources and unlimited desires, if there is no publicly accepted method of distribution that people are willing to follow, the competition for resources will become brutal and bloody, and society is likely to turn into a jungle where in order to get their way, everyone has to compete and even destroy each other. The downward pressure on the economy, the impact of the outbreak, and the deterioration of the international environment have made it more difficult for this generation of young people to get a job, and even tougher to cross the class. The exceptionally fierce competition fills them with anxiety. For example, the high cost of housing in China makes it very difficult for young men to get a wife without a house, while those who have already bought a house have practically become slaves to it. Salaries haven't increased in the past 2 years. The company is even laying off employees now. Salaries have been shrinking. Due to the outbreak a while ago, I worked from home. The company only pays basic wages. A month's salary for both of us together is just enough to pay off the mortgage. Sometimes it's not even enough. At the moment, it seems impossible to get a raise. There is only so much money every month. It's lucky that we don't lose our jobs. Together, we as a couple make 7,500 yuan. The mortgage payment is nearly 6,000 yuan, plus a few thousand yuan a year in property fees. After paying bills like heating, gas and water, there is no money left. I am embarrassed to ask my parents for money, because they have to borrow too. We owe the mortgage. We have got ourselves several credit cards. We just swipe the cards again and again. Now I'm scared to check my balance. The man who shot the video also said that it's not just their family struggle. His colleagues are more or less the same, and some of them are already planning to sell and rent from now on. After my coworker mentioned selling, actually, I also want to sell my home. But when I bought it, the home price was high. It has dropped in the past 2 years. If I sell it, I will surely have to pay a lot of money. It is going to be difficult whether I sell it or not. I will just live from day to day. I will rely on a few credit cards to go back and forth. But when I think of my child attending school and having to pay school fees, I get worried. I can't sleep at night. China's National Bureau of Statistics released unemployment figures for April on May 16th. The numbers show that...
So again, as you guys can see, you know what I mean, China, is going through a very similar situation. Again, probably worse, most likely worse in a lot of cases when compared to the U.S., for example, when it comes to, again, the economy and how people are reacting to like not wanting to work or not wanting to do anything and yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we can keep going with this, you know what I mean? But, well, yeah, let's just keep watching this video, I guess. It's pretty interesting. We'll watch another one on China and this.
That the outbreak has made the problem of youth unemployment more serious, with the surveyed unemployment rate for people aged 16 to 24 at 18.2%, up 2.2 percentage points from the previous month.
Wow. And this is,
it's the highest unemployment
It's a very recent video. It's like about a month old or two,
rate since official
I know things changing more, it's probably worse, but still, it's pretty fucking bad. So it's about the same as the U.S. The U.S. really lies. And again, the China also lies. So think about that. Think about how much they lie, and that's what they're reporting.
Records began, and official figures in China are often retouched to diminish the severity. One comment on social media Weibo reads, "Since it's the most difficult graduation season to find a job ever, might as well buy lawn and take a rest at home."
And the thing is, remember, this is also not including all the lockdowns. Remember, there's been a lot of lockdowns, in the last few months, several months, in China. So why are they locking everybody down? Well, it's because, again, they don't want people to work. It's bad, man. You know what I mean? The whole thing is fucking bad over there. It's a lot worse over there than here, than in the U.S. or wherever.
This summer, China will see tens of millions of college graduates. Due to the recent dynamic zero policy of the CCP, many major cities have been locked down, seriously impacting China's economy, and the graduates are facing the worst employment downturn. According to the 2022 College Student Employability Research Report released by Zhelian Recruitment, as of May, the contracting rate for male graduates was about 23%, and for female graduates only 10%, both lower than last year. A recent list of
By the way, up there, top left, you see China Insights. China Insights, top left. That's the website. That's a YouTube's shit channel. All right.
Servants to be hired even had PhD students from Peking University competing for positions as grassroots city administrators. Imagine a doctoral student graduating from one of China's top universities with a future like this. A dozen people drove a man who was selling roasted sweet potatoes off the streets and confiscated his stove.
That's their Antifa, their version of Antifa. They don't want the guy to sell peanuts or whatever.
Surveys show that the number of singles in China is now as high as 200 million. It means 1 out of every 7 people is single on average. Afraid to love, unwilling to love, too lazy to love can be said to perfectly illustrate the state of modern young people towards marriage and romance. Some of the reasons for not getting married are due to financial pressure, some are due to mistrust of marriage, and sometimes a combination of both. This is a Beijing resident interviewed by a young female reporter on the street.
Do people in Beijing feel the pressure in buying a home?
The salary of a Beijing resident can't afford to buy a home, even in 10 lifetimes. I don't know if you have a family or not. When I started a family, I had 500 yuan in savings. 500 yuan was okay to get married. You want to start a family now? Even with a savings of 50,000 yuan, do you dare to get married? Like you girls, you can get married with 50,000 yuan in your family. If it was a boy, even if he had 500,000 yuan in his family, would he dare to get a wife? Go back and ask your parents. Were they used to having this kind of pressure before? Why is it difficult to get married now? The pompous, corrupt culture. Society has taught the kids to focus entirely on money, to look at other people's mansions, luxury cars, helicopters, and yachts. Everything is measured by money. It has ruined a generation of people. They are an empty generation, lonely, sad, and pathetic. I tell you, if these young people can't stand up for themselves, no matter how much money they spend to get married, this marriage will never be happy. Their marriages will be like shooting stars in the sky. They will get divorced right after getting married. The man isn't...
Wait, is the volume low? Is everything low, really? I had no idea. Well, I mean, nobody said anything about the volume the whole time. I thought the volume and the sound on everything was fine. Sorry.
Wrong. Young people in China do get divorced easily. In China's marriage registries, where couples get their marriage certificates, there are even longer lines of people getting divorced. The recent popularity of Bailan has also been linked to this year's outbreak. The metropolitan Shanghai was recently hit by the outbreak. Its strict lockdown controls that have caused many tragedies are being enacted in several parts of the country, causing increasing anxiety among many young Chinese with limited upward mobility. Earlier in May, in particular, quarantine workers entered residents' homes at will in the name of disinfection and sterilization. They broke in and took away healthy residents in the name of quarantine. A video of Chinese people shouting, "This is our last generation," in defiance of the unreasonable quarantine policy went viral online and was once a top trending term on Weibo, but was quickly deleted. Many Chinese see it as an expression of the desperation and anguish of China's younger generation. We are telling you, listen carefully, you will be punished by public security when the time comes. You are not qualified to forcefully take us away. Sorry. Whether we are qualified, you can be the judge based on the law. I tell you, we have informed you. It's on you now.
A lot of Chinese are moving to Mexico too and moving outside.
If you don't follow the city's orders, you will be punished, and it'll affect 3 generations of your family.
Like tons of Chinese people are escaping China.
We are the last generation. Thank you. This has taken away the last bit of dream of the young people. What is the point of working hard when you can lose your basic rights as a human being, when your home can be broken into, and when your private items can be thrown away at will?
That's communism. Yeah, because
Chinese people
the thing is,
once thought that
a lot of these young Chinese kids, you know, they grew up in a capitalist China, you know, very capitalist, and so, you know, there were rules, you know, the communist rules are very strict, but very rarely enforced, you know, and basically a lot of them were just like free speech and yada yada yada. But then now recently, you know, with what's been going on with COVID and all this other shit, you know what I mean, yeah, no, forget about it. I mean, besides the economy crashing and, you know, becoming shit just like the U.S. or worse, you know, the whole COVID thing, you know, all of a sudden the Chinese kids, people, they're like, oh, wait a minute, this is communism? What? Huh? Wait a minute, I thought that we were capitalist. No, but yeah, capitalist and communism are two things, like, you know, anyways, so, yeah, so once they kind of figured that out a little too late, but now they're like, well, fuck it, we're living in communism, well, fuck it, just kill us all, or we're just gonna die, just like, we're not gonna participate, so we're done. So that's kind of what's going, and so you expect China to be the #1 power? Get the fuck out of here.
If they worked hard and followed the rules, they could have a good future, but that seems to be an illusion now.
Todd Mass says, that's like civil asset forfeiture here in the USA. You are 1,000,000% correct. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, a lot of people are like, I mean, I've been saying it for years, you know, the USA is borderline communist, you know. I mean, I guess you can call it fascism, whatever. It's not really communism, you know. But yeah, no, I mean, there's no rights. It's just like China, you know. You have a few rights, you know. You got a right to have a gun. You got the right to free speech, I guess, kind of, sort of. But you do have a few more rights than most of the world. But for the most part, you know, yeah, it's just like China and just like a lot of these other countries, you know, where you have absolutely zero rights. You know what I mean? Like civil forfeit, civil forfeiture. You know, when the police can also just kill you, and they have, you know, civil immunity, right? Or whatever, and so they don't go to jail for killing anybody or doing whatever they do, and all these other things that go on. I mean, and, you know, you basically find out real quick you don't got any rights, just like in China. You just find out a different way.
Oh, even before the cries of the last generation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. America. That's what. Hopefully, again, you know, like you get to fight back and get your freedom back. But you know, that's kind of what's keeping everything in order around the world right now. The fact that the USA has a Second Amendment and is armed to the teeth and has guns. And you know, they're not the only country. A lot of countries in Africa have guns. Mexico has guns. Guns are good. Guns prevent government from taking over. Okay, so but most of these countries in which government has taken over, you know, there ain't no guns in China, there ain't no fucking guns in Europe, you know, there ain't no guns in any of these in Australia, in Canada, there ain't no guns in any of these countries where the fucking government's just taking over and telling people what to fucking do. So, yeah.
The fertility rate reported by Shanghai authorities for 2020 has fallen below 1 to 0.73. What kind of people is the CCP most frustrated with? It's the young people in despair. In the state of Bailan, one has power over people because one has something they want. But now, with such a group of Chinese youths who refuse to enter the rat race, it means that referees, coaches, and spectators are no longer needed. Not much can be done to people in the state of Bailan because the community of Bailan, or let it rot, just doesn't care anymore.
How interesting, right? How interesting. Here, check this one out.
A growing number of Chinese people now feel that it is getting harder to get cash out of their banks. This 80-year-old woman is being carried to the bank by her family because banks require that money transfers must be done in person.
She's carried to the bank to transfer money, okay? She's carried to the bank to transfer money.
The Chinese possess the spirit of not fearing hardship and enduring it, but the current situation is breaking their bottom line. That is, their money in the bank is gone, and it's not a small amount. Since mid to late April 2022, there have been reports of customers not being able to withdraw their money from a number of village banks in Henan and Anhui province. Since April 18th, 6 village banks in these 2 provinces have been closing their online banking services on the grounds of a system upgrade. Online and mobile banking services have been suspended. As a result, many online customers are unable to withdraw cash, leading to bank runs. This incident involves more than 40 billion renminbi, or about $6 billion US. Until now, the online businesses of these banks hasn't been restored, and the customers' deposits seem to have vanished into thin air. Most of the affected customers are from outside the provinces, mainly from the more economically developed regions. Many of them bought financial products from those village banks a couple of years ago through online financial platforms such as the Chinese e-commerce giant, Jingdong Finance, with annual interest rates ranging from 4.1% to 4.9%. Without online access, not only are out-of-town customers unable to do banking, but their account balances have been reset to zero. Their hard-earned money has vanished. The incident continues to attract public attention. The most alarming part for the Chinese is that landmines like this may not only be buried in these two provinces. The village-level banks involved in this incident have a majority shareholder, Xuchang Agricultural and Commercial Bank. The bank's actual controller is Xuchang Investment Group, and it's directly managed by Xuchang Municipal Finance Bureau. Simply put, the actual custodian of these village banks is the Xuchang Municipal Finance Bureau. It was clearly stated in the 2021 appraisal report of Xuchang Investment Group that the company was a state-owned enterprise, directly under the Xuchang municipal government, and the sole shareholder and effective controller was the Xuchang Municipal Finance Bureau. However, the Xuchang Municipal Finance Bureau is trying to sever its connection in this matter to avoid responsibilities. On May 25th,
Yeah, sorry, I know I muted myself like a fucking moron. Anyways, but yeah, what I was saying is that, what do you think about that? I mean, how crazy is that? You know what I mean? The fact that, you know, what's going on over there. So, you remember, they don't have, remember, Bitcoin is banned over there and all this other shit. And, you know, people that have money in the banks, you know, all of a sudden it's gone. What about you? You know what I mean? Like, what about, you know, like if you got your money in your bank, you don't think it's going to ever, something like this could happen? You know, in Mexico from time to time, you know, there's bank failures and shit like that. People don't trust banks out here in Mexico. And there's a lot of countries where people don't trust banks. I wouldn't, you know, I would start, you know, looking into alternatives to banks out there, because they are going to fail. And once they fail, you know, your money, the thing is that, you know, your money could be gone forever, outright. Number one. Number two, it could just be reevaluated. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, like if you have $4,000, that $4,000 could turn into $400 or $4. You know what I mean? So just because of like, hey, we're gonna just alter the money. But if you have it in paper, you know what I mean? Like if you have it in fiat, or you have it in gold or in silver, when something like that happens, you'll be fine. Now again, you don't want it in fiat. You probably want it in gold, silver, anything else. So when something like that happens, you'll be fine. But regardless, you know what I mean? Like don't be trusting those motherfucking banks. I mean, look what's happening again in China. Again, you know, this is expected in a country like China, I guess. But don't be thinking that can't happen in the USA. And so, you know, this is happening there. You know what I mean? I don't know if you want to keep watching this. Do you guys want to watch anything else in particular? But look, at the end of the day, what this episode was about, you know, more than anything else, is just to fucking show you guys.
Xuchang Agricultural.
You know, just to fucking show you guys that, like, you know, we're not immune. You know, like, you know, not just immune, but like, sorry, that's not what I meant to say. This whole video, this live stream was basically to show you guys, you know, to let you guys know that at the end of the day, you know, it's not like the U.S. is gonna fall and China's gonna take over. You know, no. You know, a lot of things have to happen. A lot of things have to take place. And look what's happening in China right now. Do you think China is in any position to be, you know what I mean, taking over anything? Hell no. You know, again, you know, the U.S. is not doing good, but we're not doing any better. You know, I mean, they're not doing any better. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going through this. Look what's happening over there. You know, like, so again, you know, like, you know, our protests are for fucking Black Lives Matter. They're not because, you know, the banks have taken our money yet. So, yeah.
Cultural and Commercial Bank, which is recognized by the public as having government backed.
Yes, I love Mike Maloney and the Hidden Secrets of Money. Great stuff. I've talked about him and that stuff many times on the show. Correct, Alberto. USA would be last. The euro has to fall first. You know what I mean? Like, before anything happens, like, the euro has to fall.
Vice President of the CB.
So, you know, once the euro falls, the dollar will be next. You know what I mean? But, you know, a bunch of shit has to happen first, you know?
Investigators. Later, this chairman went to the U.S. The public speculated that the chairman had deregistered the company at that time and fled with the money, which eventually led to the blow-up of these village banks involving $40 billion.
Remember, the yuan, just like the dollar, is backed by debt, all right now. Yeah, they say that they got gold reserves, but the current currency that China has is based and backed by debt. So if they're gonna like say, hey, we have a currency that's backed by gold, it would have to be a new yuan and not this yuan. So regardless, you know, they got to go through this crisis and then issue a new gold-backed yuan and have like a debt jubilee to get rid of the debt, if that makes any sense. So,
billion renminbi. Will customers be able to recover their deposits? The China Banking Regulatory Commission didn't clearly say. It made a vague statement saying that all businesses can.
And what is a debt jubilee? A debt jubilee is just when all debts are cleared. So, you know, you have a reset, and with that reset, you don't have any debt. The thing is that what they're trying to do with the Great Reset is that they're trying to reset everything, but they want to make sure that you hold on to your debt. So it's like,
bruh.
You know, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? Again, you know, so yeah. Anyways, so that's not gonna work. Right? This is not
conducted in accordance with the law and regulations are protected by national laws, and it reminded financial consumers to choose proper channels for financial services, not to be misled by false advertisements such as high interest rate and high yield, and not to easily entrust their funds to third parties to prevent being cheated. By the sound of it, it tries to say that the money has been stolen and there is nothing the government or the bank can do, so consider it bad luck. The official statement naturally made the affected customers more anxious. Bank deposits differ from wealth management products. Their interest rates are only a tad higher than the base rate. It will be more appropriate to say that the Chinese officials are trying to pass the buck again,
this is
accusing the
whack as
customers
fuck,
of
man.
being greedy. At present, banking victims risk being pepper sprayed if they demand their money back. More often than not, they get down on their knees and plead to the vehicles that the officials are riding in. According to China's Deposit Insurance Ordinance, commercial banks are required to take out deposit insurance, and the maximum amount depositors can be reimbursed by the insurance fund is 500,000 renminbi or $75,000 US. But the official bank involved, the Xucheng Agricultural and Commercial Bank, has claimed that the deposits were never transferred to its account. Instead, it was sent to an account controlled by the bank's shareholder, the Xinzaifu Group, which was dissolved on February 10th, 2022. Does this mean that this official bank isn't responsible for the missing funds because it hasn't received them? Let alone expect it to offer deposit insurance to cover the vanished funds. One victim said in a telephone interview with overseas Chinese media that she started to deposit her money in the bank in 2020. The interest rate for a 5-year term was 4.5% at the time. Since it was a bank deposit, not a financial product, she had never thought that the bank could have no credibility. She said, "I have been frugal, saving money by skipping hospital visits, despite being sick. I don't even dare to buy a piece of expensive clothing. Work is hardly available under the epidemic, and I wanted to earn money for a down payment on a home. But now everything has gone down the drain. I don't sleep well every day. I would thank God if I could get my principal back." On the Chinese internet,
they can't even thank God because they don't believe in a fucking God, because they're not allowed to believe in God because of the communism.
Bruh.
there is a saying, a piece of dust of the times.
By the way, that's what she was saying.
Like,
if I had a God to fucking pray to, I would.
Like a big mountain.
Sucks.
The story of the 400,000.
So yeah, man. Okay, so that's that with the banks. Okay, here's another one with this is students outbreak. You know, lockdown. I don't know, whatever. This China. Tianjin University.
On May 26 in Tianjin, at least a few hundred students gathered at the square of Tianjin University to protest. Down with formalism, down with bureaucracy, down with formalism, down with bureaucracy. As the outbreak in China's capital, Beijing, resurfaces and continues to worsen, the neighboring city of Tianjin has again reported multiple local cases. Since May 27th, the Tianjin municipal government has asked residents to remain relatively still, restricting the movement of people and vehicles and implementing full-scale nucleic acid testing. It's required that no one be left out of the testing process. For a city of 14 million people, this is equivalent to a citywide lockdown. Previously, on May 25th, the Tianjin government announced that one of its administrative districts would start district-wide static management. It called for the strict implementation of the policy where residents mustn't leave their neighborhoods unless necessary. At the same time, all districts are blocked off from each other and no cross-district travel is allowed in Tianjin. Silent management, static management, territory-wide static management, closed home management. These are terms that have emerged since the Omicron virus spread widely in China this spring. The CCP authorities have coined new terms.
Remember, this video is from June 1st, so just like a month ago.
To replace the word lockdown, which carries a negative connotation. Yuan Di Jing Ji, or staying where one is and staying still, is one of the phrases coined by the CCP. To avoid the disgust that Chinese people feel about the lockdown, the CCP has adopted another form, zoning, as well. The city is divided into a number of zones based on risk levels, such as lockdown zones, controlled zones, and precautionary zones. However, the severity of control of these zones often depends on the officials responsible for the zone, rather than the zoning name. For example, a precautionary zone, the one with lenient measures, may be treated with strict lockdown measures in reality and a delay in lifting restrictions. Peace District is located in the center of Tianjin and is the most densely populated jurisdiction in the city. It's under lockdown. In the meantime, a new round of nucleic acid testing is being carried out throughout the city of Tianjin. Next to Peace District is the Nankai District. On May 25th, there was news that this district was going to be closed down. On the same day, the government issued a notice to dispel the rumors, asking residents to not believe in rumors, not to spread rumors. But the next day, right after the official dismissal of the rumors, the Nankai District Command Center for the Epidemic Prevention and Control announced that a new round of full nucleic acid testing will be conducted throughout the district to screen as many people as possible, without missing a single person. The district also implemented a non-essential travel policy, meaning that residents aren't allowed to leave their neighborhoods, and all residents are to remain relatively still. In addition, authorities have warned that residents who don't participate in the round of nucleic acid testing within the specified time will have their health code adjusted to orange.
China like right now as well, so they're dealing with this shit too. So plus they had floods before this, and they've had other natural disasters very recently.
As the summer begins, there are continuous heavy rains and floods everywhere in southern China. The website of the Chinese Ministry of Emergency Management revealed that from June 21st to 22nd, 104 rivers in the south, including in Guangxi, Guangdong, Hunan, Jiangxi, Zhejiang, and Fujian, suffered flooding above the warning level. However, it seems that the outside world doesn't know enough about the severe flooding situation in China in recent years. Why is that? We will analyze it in the second half of the episode. First of all, let's look at the areas where the flooding is most severe. This is the city of Yingde in Guangdong province. A village is almost completely under the water since June 21st. Only the top of a landmark heritage pagoda remains. Public information shows that the first floor of the pagoda is 5.48 meters high, and the whole pagoda is 48.5 meters high. In this video, what you see isn't the scrub, but treetops.
That's fucking crazy. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Look at this. Okay? So, the whole thing, this building right here, is supposed to be 48.5 meters high. Okay? And so basically right now, 43 meters, I think. What is it? Is it like 43 meters of it is underwater? Is that it? Bro, that's a lot. A meter is how many feet? Let's just say 40 meters. 40 meters to feet. How many feet is 400 meters? First 40 meters. That's like 131 feet, man. That's 43 yards, bro. That's a lot. I don't know how many stories that is.
8 meters high, and the whole pagoda is 48.5 meters high. In this video, what you see isn't the scrub, but treetops.
So that means, okay, that if these are the treetops, that means that these are the tops of the buildings. That means how many? This is like fucking Katrina style shit, man. This is like Katrina style fucking flooding, man. That's crazy. Bro. That's fucking nuts. Yeah, maybe the US is fucking flooding the fuck out of them, right? Fucking US is harping their ass. That's what I'm saying, man. Fucking China don't know shit, man. China ain't got HARP. China ain't got the CIA. China ain't got, you know, all that fucking ancient Chinese and Nazi Germany fucking knowledge. We got Tesla, motherfucker. We got a bunch of shit out here, man. Don't be fucking with our Area 51.
Guangdong Province is within the Pearl River system, and on the noon of June 22nd, the flood warning was upgraded to red by the Ministry of Water Resources. Some people in Yingde City have been evacuated to a stadium. However, many people in rural areas are left with no help. Many local
just like during Katrina when they got fucking evacuated to the fucking stadium.
Netizens have taken to China's social media, Weibo, to seek help. A post reads that the area has been without power and water for 3 days, and that people trapped there are in desperate need of rescue. One user writes, "My hometown is flooded up to the 3rd floor. My 70-year-old grandfather lives alone there. Family members can't make their way back, and the family house is in bad shape. I'm really afraid that something terrible might happen." Another post reads, "My uncle is still stuck on the roof. Whoever passes by or has a boat, please stop to check on him. Bring him some food and I will pay for it." Why is the flooding in Yingde so bad? Yingde is a county-level city, which belongs to Qingyuan City. Qingyuan City is sandwiched between Shaoguan City and Guangzhou, the capital city of Guangdong Province. Shaoguan City, upstream of Yingde City, was hit by what officials described as a 1 in 50-year flood. In order to protect the local reservoirs in the region, reservoir gates were opened and water was released to Qingyuan City.
Bro, so they caused that flooding. By the way, this video is already demonetized or whatever. Here, you want to see? Here, see, look. You see it? There's the video, see? And then the other one was demonetized as well, but I challenged it and I got monetized. So this one will probably get monetized again, but it's funny. I just wanted to show you. By the way, I'm going to be doing a Mexico live stream tomorrow on the Mexico channel. So for anyone wanting to, you know, we're going to do Mexico stuff on the Mexico channel tomorrow. Anyways, yeah, man, the Chinese are dealing with a lot of crazy shit over there, bro. They got the fucking COVIDs. They got the fucking, you know, they got all these natural disasters. Not just the floods. There's other shit going on too. You know, they're dealing with the financial situation.
At the same time, in order to protect the metropolis Guangzhou, located downstream, the local reservoir in Qingyuan can't open its gates and release water to Guangzhou, so the area including Yingde City is sacrificed.
Anyways, guys. I think I'm going to be ending it here. I'm going to let this play in the background, but I think I'm going to be putting an end to this here. It's already been 2.5 hours. Wow. 2.5 hours of live streaming tonight. But I think we covered a lot. I think we gave, hopefully give you guys a new perspective on things, on what's going on what I think is going on, because I don't think that China's in any position to be taking over. You know, USA is still #1, and it's going to take a lot for the USA to relinquish that #1 spot. Even though it's doing a lot here, you know, with this presidency and the people that are running the show at the moment, and one particular political party, you know, they're really trying to ruin the country. But you know, right now we're living in a state, I mean, in a country in which, you know, again, you know, the liberals are at any moment now about to, you know, take over the Capitol, all right, under a liberal president, you know, a Democratic president, Democratic House, Democratic Congress, and the Democrats are the hard left, you know, they're going to now, you know, go and take over the Capitol. So, I mean, that you can't write this shit. You know what I mean? This is fucking hilarious. So, I think, you know, that's kind of like the scenario we're looking for. I mean, we're looking at. I hope that doesn't happen at all. But, you know, who knows? Anything can fucking happen. But even if that happens, you know, it's not going to end well for them. The government will be fine, but it will be interesting. Look at those piggies. That sucks. They look like fucking humans, bro. That's fucking terrible. Fuck, man. Anyways, so yeah, man. Anyway, it's gonna be very interesting, you know, going forward, you know, to see how all this plays out and develops. But, you know, the USA is still #1. You know, let's not forget that. You know, we're still top dog. You know, if we're gonna be talking about, you know, strongest currencies, you know, right now the ruble is the strongest currency, and yeah, right, all those cops, all those poor cops drowning. Anyways, so. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we do see a new currency, you know, take over. You know, again, the ruble is making a hard case for that. You know, they're being the world reserve currency. You know, I know they're going with the whole BRICS thing, but I don't know, those whole BRICS, SDR things, they don't really make too much sense to me. I don't think that they're going to work out too well. But at the end of the day, you know, I think that the U.S. is going to pull it out of their ass, and they're going to come out with their currency backed by gold or whatever the fuck, you know, and alien power or whatever. And then, you know, we're going to be all right. But if that doesn't happen, then, you know, we're going to see what country steps it up. And again, you know, in that process, you know, we can live in a world in which all countries are sovereign. All countries, you know, will have, you know, a sovereign currency of their own, in which, you know, the free market will value, and we will be using cryptocurrencies, and we will be living in a different world in which, you know, we'll have more freedom, and that's what I think we're going to really be moving into, and that's going to be more interesting and fun. But this is the beginning of the fall, you know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. Like, again, you know, I don't think the U.S. is going anywhere. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of insanity in the next 2 years in the USA as the left, you know, the people get sick and tired of that shit, of all that, you know, far left thinking. And I think that at the end of the day, you know, once we get to the presidential elections, you know, the people are going to elect a far right president candidate, and then that guy is, you know, gonna fucking just bring it to the house, you know, bring it home, you know, bring it all the way, you know, tear down the swamp for real, you know. and really make some changes. And you know, again, I think the people are going to be the ones that are, you know, the people need to get involved, and the people need to really, you know, do some shit. And that's it. That's it. You know, again, but you know, don't be surprised if 2024 comes along and we have President Ocasio-Cortez, you know, AOC president, 2024, with, you know, 85 million votes. You know what I mean? You know, of course. So, you know, don't be surprised. You know, you'd never be surprised anymore. So let's look at the voting real quick. I know we did a quick poll here, and I asked you guys. We have 37. Wow, 37. That's a lot of people. So I asked you guys. All right. So let's I guess end the poll with the we end whatever. Anyways, did I end it yet? Yeah. Sorry. Whatever. All right. Who will replace the U.S. empire? 27% of you guys said USA stays number 1. 8% says Russia. 41% says China. And 24% said other. And for all of you guys out there that picked China, you know, for the 41%, because that's the winner. 41% of you, you know, which is most of you guys there, you know, think that China is going to be the one that's going to be the replacement to the U.S. empire. I hope after watching today's video and seeing what's really kind of going on in just China and Russia and, you know, a few other parts of the world, and again, hopefully opening up your eyes to check out the rest of the world on your own, even if it's through YouTube, and checking out other YouTubers that are vlogging in other parts of the world so you can really see what's going on and see and seek other news and other stuff, you know. Because at the end of the day, you know, what's being reported on this channel, you know, it could be a little biased, but, you know, it's just showing you what's going on in China, and, you know, that speaks for itself. And it's not, remember, the USA is going through some shit, but when you look at what's going on in China alone, you're like, well, it's not so bad anymore in the USA. Shit's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. It's pretty bad. Don't get me wrong, what's going on in the U.S. is pretty fucked up, but it's nowhere near, you know, what's going on in China right now. And so when, you know, people think like, oh, the U.S. empire is going to fall and China's going to take over, are they? Are they really? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people in power, especially the banks, you know, they would love for China to be in power. They would love for the world to be living in a, you know, dystopian future. A dystopian world in which, you know, they, you know, just like China, you know what I mean? But it's not going to happen. It's just not going to work. So, anyways, but yeah, that's it. So, I think that's it. We're going to end the show here, guys. But anyways, thank you so much. And by the way, guys, you know, I appreciate all of you guys, you know, supporting me, you know what I mean? Sending me a few bucks here and there. You know, all the links are down below for the Patreons. For the everything, the Bitcoins, the whatever. Thank you. Appreciate. I don't know who you guys all are. Some of you guys I do know, depending on the notification. But shout out to all of you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. And we're going to be doing more of these shows. You know, it's basically how it's going to work is like I'm just like downloading a bunch of like thumbnails and making thumbnails randomly, whatever. And then, you know, whatever kind of like I feel like talking about that night, tonight, whatever. I feel like going live. I got time to go live. I'm just going to go live and we're going to talk about things. I'm going to try to keep, you know, the topics a little bit more current. But, you know, whatever. You know, I think this is you know, a good topic that I feel a lot of people should know more about, you know what I mean? So, you know, you can sleep a little easier at night as an American or, you know, or wherever you live, you know what I mean? And just know that, well, thank God China's not going to take over, you know, that dodging a bullet there, you know? So, you know, that's like worst case scenario, right? So I don't think China, you know, I mean, fuck, man. You know, we would have to go through a really hardcore World War III type situation, and then China does win. Then we're kind of fucked. But I just don't see that happening, man. No way, no how, man. So yeah, and a lot of people would be against China, even Russia. You know what I mean? So if Russia, you know, if push came to shove, you know, Russia would team up with the USA against China. Don't get that shit twisted, bro. Don't be thinking fucking Russia out here, you know, trying to team up, you know, with fucking China, you know. So yeah, you never know. You never fucking know. You never know. But anyways, guys, All right. Thank you so much, man. Love you guys. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be live on the cooking show. Live on the Mexico travel show. We're going to be doing Mexico live stream tomorrow. So we're going to be doing that. I don't know about the weekend. I got plans for the weekend. We'll be back next week on this channel. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything else on this channel till next week, but you never know. Stay tuned. I might be here Friday, whatever. It's clever. Okay? But for now, no plans. Regardless, I'm just going to go live whenever the fuck. So please hit that bell notification there so you never miss a thing. And just stay tuned. I'm always going to be going live and dropping videos. I'm going to be dropping videos on this channel again and so on and so forth. And, we got a lot of things, to talk about, man. Thank God, the whole virus thing is over. And we can talk about everything else going on in the world because there's a million things going on that are just a million more interesting, a million times more interesting than fucking monkeypox or whatever, So, or whatever the fuck is next on that shit. So, yeah, all right. I think we're gonna end it there. So, guys, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit the bell icon. Don't forget to stay awesome. See you guys in the next one. See you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna get back to cooking, live streaming as well soon. But hey, I'm the reason I haven't done that is I'm kind of busy, man. I got the wife. She fractured her leg. Long story. Well, maybe on Friday night we'll do like a chill Friday night. We'll just be hanging out, talking shit. And we'll get into that. I'll let you know what's going on with the wife and other shit. I bought a car. That's right. We got a bunch of cool shit going on. I bought a truck actually. So 1988 Ram Charger. So if anyone knows anything about cars out there, I bought myself a 1988 Ram Charger. It's fucking awesome. Anyways, yeah. So we'll talk more about that. I'll let you know what's up with the wife. She's fine. Everything's great, but I just got to be fucking nurse, taking care of her. I'm also doing shit in the house and just a million things, Anyways, all right. Trying to start a business, trying to get some money, some cash flow. You already know. Fucking the Bitcoin, hitting the fucking tank. Anyways, we all need money. In one shape, form, or another. So you already know what's up. But everything's great. Yeah, I got a 360 engine. Yes, right. V8, man. Oh, man, this shit's awesome, bro. Oh, Opie, bro, you'll fucking love it, bro. I'll send you some pictures, all right? I'll send you some pictures in a minute. But yeah, bro. Oh, fucking great, man. It's a 1988 Ram Charger. Fucking you already know what's up. And it's in really great shape, man. I just gotta fucking, I gotta just fix it up, man. It's an older car. But anyways, all right, gotta go. Love you guys. Peace out. You already know what's up. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. See you tomorrow. Bye.